You're just gonna scroll on by without saying meowdy. How's it going? I'm still trying to wake up. I realized that I haven't had that bag of trash blood procedure done lately. I might be contributing to why I'm so groggy all the damn time. High iron levels. They gotta draw a bunch of blood, and they get a bag of it, and they look me in the eye, and they go, "This is your blood? It's garbage," and they throw it out. Because I can't use it for donations or anything. So it just goes in the garbage. rummonkeyz, hey! Finally, stream notification when you're streaming. Usually pops up on off days. That's weird. Why would it do that? Give it to vampires? Yeah, I know, right? No, they just draw just a shit ton of your blood, 500 grams, and then they throw it in the garbage. But apparently, that lowers the iron levels in your blood. My doctor describes it as the iron's rusting your organs. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. But it does have an effect, and one of the symptoms is being tired, which I think is just that's just a symptom of adult life, like, right? Like, but yeah, apparently it must be having an effect, because I'm groggy, but I'm still sleeping. So good times all around. I got a fun day today. We're gonna work on computers. Work on building computers. That's what I like to do. It's a fun task. Let's put rummonkeyz up on the board. We're currently jogging over to where rummonkeyz goes. Jesus, why is it so far over? Come on. All right, rummonkeyz is way the hell over there. That's blocked. rummonkeyz, welcome to the far side of the board by Asshole Casserole. Yeah, I'm not. Let's go ahead and not gonna send you blood. That's might be against a couple different versions of toss. Fuss. Start that up. That's gonna lag the computer a little bit. I was supposed to get a haircut this morning and get my prescriptions, but everything got in the way today. CVS was down. Apparently computer systems are down or some shit like that. So I wasn't able to do it. Yeah, I didn't get a haircut. Warszabre! Hey, Warszabre, how you doing? Oh man, we got a little bit of lag as Fusion loads here. There's a new version. Yeah, it's downloading a new version. Boop. Being the sub burn cameraman will help you wake up. What, getting me up and down? Making me do little workouts here. My friends are like, "Hey, you want to play Vermintide?" I'm like, "Don't you people have fucking jobs?" I'm not set up to do game streams. Otherwise, we could possibly have done a Vermintide stream. They're playing it in the middle of the day. Talk about working at home. I'm supposed to be the layabout. Oh, Warzabre's all the way over here. Look at that weird frame lag because Fusion is updating itself. Warszabre is destroying Mr. Zoran. We knew it would have to happen at some point. That Warszabre would just stomp the hell out of Mr. Zoran. After all those years of mod abuse over on Rabaz's stream. I hope on one of the anniversaries to be next to myself from the past few months on the board. I think Dewey did that, and I think Gunnier did that as well. They were able to get a name in like right next to a previous name. Whew, man, why am I am just out of it today. All right, I gotta clear off the desk. We need a little bit of space here because we gotta do some measurements. I'm so happy that this circuit finally freaking works. Schmide subscribed. Schmide subscribed. Let's put Schmide up there. Fatinon's done that as well. Yeah, there's some names that got right next to themselves. Waiting on it. There it is. Ooh, taking a little while. Oh, no, wait, no, never mind. Sorry, I thought there were more lights. There are 4 lights on the board status indicators. Actually, I think there's 5. No, wait. No, 3, 4. But there's also an error status indicator too, so. Because Python happens to have that. Nope. Why isn't this adjusting? What's going on? Ah, got stuck. All right, there we go. We're on our way to Schmide, wherever that may be. Really? Really? Way the hell, all the names are way over here today. What's up with that? Schmide, welcome to the board. You're by Yuppie Nibgiblins. There's Dinsdale Piranha right there. Everything's a little laggy because Fusion is doing its thing. Fusion is doing its little update thing. I didn't expect it. Causing weird lag. What do you got here, man? Come on. 98%. It's that last 2%. That last 2% is 60% of 4% of the 8%. That's really what matters. I need to charge this before it starts inflating. Ugh. Big battery. My big test battery. Let's get everything else out of the way. Get all the surface mount stuff away. So that we can give it the old college try. I don't know. Hurry up, Fusion, jeez. What's up, Uncle? That's an Uncle Phil. Get all this stuff away, out of the way and away, so it doesn't explode and send parts all over the place. I'm gonna show you guys what I've been doing with the design. Here we go. Restart Fusion. All right. Did I misclick? What happened? Okay, it's restarting. Yeah, this is not another one. It's same old, same old. I just haven't been able to get to it. Building the case for the rack mount PC. So it's gonna go in a rack. We need to do the front fascia of the thing so that, yeah, so I can migrate the parts from my stream computer over to this thing. And that requires a little bit of Fusion 360 design, because we're gonna do basically the same thing that I did with the other ones, which is to use hexagonal grading and 3D printed parts in order to build up that case. I'm gonna get every freaking penny out of that hex grading that I bought. Did you camp for a 3090? I saw the lines. I didn't physically see the lines. I saw the lines on an internet picture of people just lined up outside of Best Buy. That's crazy. You know, every time one of these stories comes out, it's like, should I still be champing at the bit to try to get one of these things? And it's like, then you see the stories of people just climbing on each other in order to get them, and it's like, no, maybe no. All right, I'm gonna BRB. I need to do a quick little BRB. Actually, don't need a BRB while I have the start soon thing up, do I? I can just leave. It's been 15 minutes. I'm legally allowed to leave. I'll be right back. Yeah, RimWorld music. I'm hoping that doesn't get tagged. I'm like 2 to 3 year old graphics card that doesn't break the bank but lets me do basic stuff without issue. I have no idea. There are a lot of those going around. Made sure to let you know about the restock so that you could have decided on it if you wanted. What? Chill Drew, thank you for the follow. Okay, the hype train. Yeah, the hype train stopped. All right. Just looking over how we're doing here. Got a bunch of parts that are just like stashed on the computer. Well, this is what we're gonna have to design for. Why is there belt in here? Why is there belt in here? I'm trying to get this part done so that I can move on to like Burn the Subs 3 and stuff in good faith, because I need more desk space for Burn the Subs 3. My current machine can't even handle Rocket League on low settings without stuttering. I don't know. I don't know what even to look for. I just, you know, the graphics cards that I have are just all I've got now at this point. You know, people are clamoring over getting new graphics cards, and it's too much of a rat race for me. You know, too much of a rat race. Everybody's scrambling over one another to try to get like a freaking 3090 and shit like that. And it's like, I don't know. My 1080 FTW is doing just fine for anything that I want to play. So here we are. Yeah. All right, let me get the music out of here. If I can find it. Where did I put that? There it is. I like RimWorld music. That's good music. Yeah. Let's get started here. What's going on? Welcome everybody to Thursday. It's actually Thursday, and I'm actually here, and I'm actually streaming on Thursday. So we need to work on this rack mount computer because enough is enough. Like I don't have all the desk space that I could possibly utilize. I've got a lot of equipment sitting in that rack over there, including the file server and battery backup and all the accoutrements, all the little hookups that I would need to get USB to a computer in there that just hasn't been in there at all. This is a project that I started a long time ago. I bought a case for it, and I took one look at the case and went, that is hideous. So I want to redo the front of the case. I want to make it look good. This is old hardware. It's my GTX 970. It's got a fairly decent processor on it, and it's way more than what the GTX 970 can utilize. It's not like I'm using the 970 for much in this computer. Maybe like 2% of it is being used to help encode the video that you're seeing right now. But I want to add my own little touch to this thing. I got cheeseburger in my teeth. I want to add my own little touch to this thing. I want this to look like something that exists in my shop. So the idea is that we will apply the same lessons that applied to the computer that I built, or rebuilt, or sort of restyled. I have a new motherboard for that computer, and I do want to put that in there soon. Maybe I should say next week we do that. It's like a pull off the Band-Aid kind of situation where I just need to rip that sucker off and you know, I just need to sit here and go for a long time. No, I need to rip off the Band-Aid and, you know, reinstall the whole OS in that computer for the new motherboard. That's a different computer. But anyway, this one's the stream computer, and this one is literally just going to be parts transferring from one case to the other. We just need to make sure that I have space for all those parts, and I've got everything ready to go because I want to do it in a day. I don't want to take off from streaming because I have done something where I've needed to order a part and wait for it to come in the mail. It's the worst. I do have a local micro center, so at least I can source things, you know, like water cooling fittings. I can actually source in a day. I can just go to King of Prussia and grab it. But King of Prussia is like St. David's. So anyway, that's where a game stream would help. There's no streams without this computer. That's the thing about this computer. Unless I set up my other computer to have the stream key and everything. But yeah, so I want to get this thing like 100% ready to go, which means we need to get the radiators in place. We need to design the front piece, the grill of the whole thing to hold the reservoir and everything. And then I think after that, it's pretty much ready to go. We need to figure out where that hard drive's going to go. That's going to be an interesting one. It would be nice if I could use the hard drive caddy, because then when I fill up one of these big terabyte drives, I can just pull it out and put a new one in there without having to take the whole computer out and, you know, do surgery on it. That would be nice, but I just don't know if there's room for that. It'd be a little busy on the front panel if we do that. So yeah, we gotta assess these things. We gotta take a look at them. And then I have results from having 3D printed a fan thing that I don't see. Oh, it's all the way over there. Yeah, I have that 120 millimeter to 140 millimeter fan adapter that we designed on stream. So we can take a look at that and see if we can install it and how that's gonna work out with the rest of the system. I'm gonna do soft tubes. We're not doing hard lines because hard lines are really obnoxious for some of the bends that I have to give this thing. Some of the bends, we're gonna get the bends. And then, you know, at some point, I might get a new graphics card. I don't know when. It's 40 millimeters longer than the computer case that it would have to go in. So that's a little weird. I have to plan around that. 40 millimeters longer than the case. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna cut out the front and just have it stick out the front. I've seen a lot of people doing that. But that would mean that the 1080 can go to this computer, which means that I can water cool it. And in order to water cool it, we have to make a right angle adapter. We're not going to worry about that now. It's just something in the future. Anyway, yeah. So what have I been working on my wonderful Wednesday off? Well, I didn't go to the beach. I didn't go down the shore. Nothing like that. I actually ended up working on that circuit board. So that circuit board is this project. And then this is the smaller one. Oh no, I didn't mean to open that. I meant to open the whole project. Well, we'll just take a look at what it opens up. So this is the first blush at this design, and I've managed to get all the traces laid out. I've dropped a couple ground vias and stuff like that. I did not do any of the labeling yet. Part of doing the labeling on something like this is taking all of your fonts and making them consistent and then moving them to areas where you can actually see what's going on. You know, any of the necessary labels that you need in order to construct the actual circuit. But yeah, apparently those little high side drivers, the little N channel drivers, it turns out I didn't have to get too creative in placing them. I just put them on one side of the board, and then on the other side of the board I have their capacitors. So I guess I didn't really need to get all that fancy with them. In terms of getting the right trace size and stuff, I decided to do this little weird thing where I sort of like snaked the high current line up like that. That's going to be a little weird. It's just the way that it turned out. And then I've got power input coming in and going to the two FETs. And before that, I'm grabbing it from here. I don't know if I'm going to keep that like that. I may revise that. But I mean, from our testing, we know that we need to grab the power ahead of the motor portion of the circuit. And then I have it immediately going into a Schottky diode just in case, and then a giant capacitor on the other side. So if the motor induces some kind of heinous noise, the capacitor can make up for it, and the Schottky will block. So that's the idea. And then from there, it branches out, power branches out to all of the different places that it needs to go, including the main microcontroller as well as its decoupling caps. Although I could have used this area a little bit more too. It's weird. I mean, the distribution of the circuit board has been through a couple different phases. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should like think about moving these parts over here maybe. Something. Yeah, Fusion makes a really good looking circuit board 3D model. It really does. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea behind it. And there's no connector goes there. These are just there for connections to the radio. These are placed roughly under where they would be on the gyroscope. But yeah, and then I'm still waiting on that plug, the Hyros. Still waiting on the housing for that. I've got the crimps. I've got the I've got that part, the male, whatever it is, the right angle one. I have that. I have the crimps. I don't have the housings for it. That's going to be the servo connector. And then, of course, the motor and the power are going to hook up to giant pads because I couldn't be bothered to figure out a connector. I mean, I could put banana plugs there if I really feel like it, although banana plugs aren't really going to be supported by much. And actually, I don't have any vias on these pads unless I staggered them. I can't do vias on the pads. That could be a concern in terms of the pad lifting eventually after, you know, too much solder. I guess if I'm not putting a big connector in there, the mechanicals of it aren't going to be that crazy. It's just going to be a wire connected to the board. I'm a little concerned about that. I can't really do anything about it. Banana plug. Ding dong, ding dong, ding. Banana plug. Man, that's an old one. I should probably move that out a little bit just so that the infill can get in there. Maybe. It's not really necessary though. Yeah, anyway, that's it so far. It's actually a lot less dense than I had assumed it would be, even adding all of these parts to it. These are the high side drivers, and apparently, I guess I probably could have fit a combo chip in here if I could find a combo version of that driver. But I've already bought enough of these that I'll use these. But yeah, they've got their ground connection, they've got their VCC with a capacitor nearby. They've got the in and the out, and then the outs go to the N channel FETs, and the ins come from the microcontroller. Oh, one thing I could do is add a couple pads so that I can do the jumpering in order to configure this thing. What would the best location be to get to that? Well, I mean, this is the open area here, and then there's modules that sit over top of it here. I suppose I could do something next to the microcontroller. I mean, if I'm doing it next to the microcontroller, I might as well just go pin 1 to VCC, which is just a pair of tweezers across these leads. So maybe it's not all that necessary. Or I could put a button in there, but I don't think a button is a good idea. I don't think I have space for a full button. It would have to be a specialty tiny little button. I don't have specialty tiny little buttons, not in stock. Anyway, yep, that's where that's going. So the correct footprints for what? Yeah, everything's the correct footprint now. These are what I did last time. Is I had the P channel FETs I had hooked up backwards. But that again, that goes back to checking and double checking and redouble checking your actual schematic design, which I did. Which I did. We hooked up pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna cough. Oh yeah, no, the AT Tiny is the correct. You can see how massive it is on this diagram. It is the correct one this time. Yeah, before the AT Tiny was the super duper small one. But that'll all be part of double checking it when the time comes. God, all these little inspection windows get in the way. Yeah, so that's correct. This is the same way. They go into their own little driver. Driver has an in and out and a capacitor. All of the pins, I meticulously made sure that those are correct. I corrected the size of this thing. We've got a little bit of a filter here that might not even be necessary. I could even just not populate those parts if I feel like it. Just a little Schottky diode that's going to make sure that things don't go in reverse. And if they do, it'll allow stuff to flow before getting to the rest of everything else. And yeah, everything else is here. So all I really think that I need to do at this point, and this will be something that I do on my time, is get all of the visuals, all the silk screen and stuff ordered properly and in the right locations. I got to do a couple special views on this drawing in order to break out the labels and stuff like that and make sure that they have a place and they look good and, you know, consistent sizing. I'm going to make it as small as possible so that I can see what's going on. Things like that. So that's where I am with that PCB. All right, I'm going to close this. Well, actually, we would start a new drawing. So let's just let's get this out of the way first. Yes. Everything's out of sync. I didn't move anything, so. All right, so what are we looking at here? Well, we're doing computer stuff, which will eventually involve designing a front panel. But let's take a look at what we did last time. So last time we actually designed a fan adapter, trying to use some features of Fusion that I wasn't too familiar with. I'm gonna get the fan adapter. It's, Jesus, it's all the way over here. Oh, and of course the wire gets tangled with everything. Okay, all right. So this is a Noctua fan. It is a 140 millimeter fan that fits into a 120 millimeter fan footprint, and it does that because it's round and it kind of gets away with it, right? It gets away with it. So we designed this guy right here, this adapter. And so this is a 120 millimeter fan mount to a 140 millimeter fan mount. It's a simple thing. I probably could have bought one on eBay, or eBay or whatever. You know, that's probably not an uncommon thing to find. But we ended up making our own, which I kind of enjoy because we were able to make it a little bit stylistic, a little, not really, but whatever. Either way, it worked. It was kind of a long print. The point of that adapter is that the case itself does not have a 140 millimeter fan mounting location. It is a 120 millimeter fan mount or an 80, and then that actually has the area on the sides for this kind of cheaty 140 millimeter fan. That's kind of a weird situation. So what I'm going to try to do with that is mount this radiator to the side of the case so that we've got the feed from this radiator coming out alongside where the reservoir is going to go. Well, that's the idea anyway. I think I need to get the power supply to get in here because I don't... I have a couple concerns. And one of them is the area surrounding the 140 millimeters. Now we're okay on this side because this is the front of the case. But over here, we've got that overrun, and that might get in the way of the power supply. So I have to investigate that. Hold on one sec. Why is my mouth dry? Oh, it has nothing to do with being hyperglycemic, I guess. Okay. So yeah, let's get all the trash out of the case and start looking at what we're up against here. Because remember, in the past we've done a lot of like careful measurement with this thing. We figured out what the motherboard's going to look like, because it's not like I can actually physically have the motherboard sitting in front of me to size it out. Instead, we took a piece of poster board and we kind of mounted it in the right location, just to give me an idea of where I'd be bending tubes. And we decided that bending tubes was an absolutely awful thing to do with one's day. So, meanwhile, one of my friends, we go over to his house and we just build the hardline system in like a couple hours. It took us like a day to build his whole hardline cooling system. And I'm sitting here with like a 4-month project going, it's not good enough. I gotta let go of some of my inhibitions here, you know? Getting the fittings off of this. This radiator does not work. I was so confident. I was so confident that I'd be able to use slim fans and a slim radiator on the 220 millimeter sized openings on the side of this case. But as it turns out, I can't have anything stick out beyond the case. And because it's an insidious EVGA motherboard with a lot of right angle and weird connections on the very edges, having stuff go a little bit beyond the motherboard on this side, big no-no. It's a major no-no. That's no bueno. That's not going to work out. So I thought that I would be able to sneak it onto the rack if I had a radiator sticking out of this side or fans. That doesn't work. I put it all together and I tried to put it up on the rack, and it just wasn't having it. It's literally the opening in the rack is exactly the size of the case. Can't get around that. So that's where we're at with that. It's too bad. This radiator has been looking for a home for decades around here. I've had it do like brewing duty. I've had it do all kinds of other stuff. It just has never found a home. Maybe the Raspberry Pi 4 will need a big radiator on it. That's not likely. All right, so these mounting things came with this radiator. I don't know what good they're gonna be. I've got all kinds of screws rattling around inside of this thing. All kind of little screws rattling around. So one thing that this case has that I'm wondering if I need to incorporate is a bar running down the center of it, because on a rack, I was thinking today, of all the streamers that I know, the one that I'd never want to have like a fan art segment is Flatulent Gonad. Yeah, that was the Meteor one. Anyway, these rack mount cases, because of the way they're designed, everything hangs off of these brackets, right? Now, I put a shelf under this thing because I just don't trust these flimsy little brackets to hold up an entire computer. The other part is, usually they'll have some kind of a brace on them. So this thing has a brace, and I don't have anywhere to mount that. And I could always, I guess I could always print something out, just make a nice meaty brace to hold this front piece in place. I don't want to like 3D model this entire thing. That would be absolutely the worst. I think that would be torture. So I want to figure out where stuff's going to go, and then we can start to look at brackets and stuff that are going to kind of round this out and make it into a computer finally. One of the main components is that I want to mount this reservoir up front. Let me get a power supply. We need a dummy power supply over here, just for size purposes, so I can see whether or not my idea of putting this radiator here is going to work. I mean, if it's just the processor, this radiator could probably handle it, right? It's 280mm fans, and that would go right there if the holes would line up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know if the holes will line up. This sucks. Everything sucks. I don't know if the holes will line up. There's a little outcropping over there for that fan. Oh no. That might mean that the radiator has to go outside, in which case I got to figure out how the tubes are getting in. Oh Christ on a cracker. All right, let me grab a power supply. We need to size this out a little better. Ay ay ay. This case has been nothing but a pain in my ass. This is supposed to be like an easy solution, but they never work out that way, do they? They never quite work out that way. Now, yeah, there it is, the EVGA 600B. This is what you get for being the tech guy in your circle of friends, is people will come to you and they'll just give you power supplies. This is my brother's. Well, it's mine now, I guess, but this is a 600-watt power supply. I forget what I have in here. I think I have somebody else's old EVGA power supply in that computer right now. It's just they just find their way to you. No, I don't need any more bench supplies. I don't need any more bench supplies. Actually, I am actually running out of power supplies, to be honest. All right, so what way is this going in? Now, this is the problem with this EVGA PSU, is that this piece right here sticks out a little bit. Good thing it's not Gigabyte. Yeah, apparently there's some drama going down with the Gigabyte and their power supplies, huh? EVGA decided to be a little bit vain. I mean, that's sort of like their modus operandi, isn't it? EVGA being vain. They put a big fancy looking fan grill on this thing, and it sticks out a little bit. So that's going to be a problem. I need some bench supplies. Well, you can make them. So this thing barely fits, and that's going to be a problem for us because we want a radiator to go in right there. I don't know if this is going to be possible. This sucks. This is going to make me angry very quickly. So if that's there, we might be able to get it to fit. We might be able to finagle this thing in a position. Push comes to shove, I guess I can get creative with it, but I think the roundness of this fan is going to help us out. Yeah. Okay, so let's get the power supply mounted first. I do wish this was modular so I wouldn't have to deal with a big cable harness sitting out at the back, but beggars can't be choosers. Think 2 screws will be enough? Do I have 4? I have 3. Of course I have 3. 3 screws. Oh no, there's the 4th. I actually do have all the screws for it. Hey, that's rare. All right, let's see here. How am I going to get to this thing? Thought I moved everything out. You get out of the way. Everybody out of the way. If this thing didn't have a like a pump that sticks out, it would do really well like right here. It would be kind of a cool side window. Schmide, it's not getting you, Fatanon. It's like the lowest hanging fruit that exists. Guys always make the dumbest jokes. All right, where are the power supply screws? Why is that not going in? Do I have the wrong type of screw? I don't think so. It's these big meaty ones are the ones that go for the PSU, right? I think so. All right, try to do this while my hands cramp. Jeez. Gotta love those little hand cramps. I don't think everybody here gets them, but they're fun. It's fun when your hand decides that it wants to be a claw. The Claw. Mr. Claw. Mr. Kennedy Claw. Let's see here. So, oh, the holes don't really line up, do they? I've got, so there's like weird hole layouts for these things. Yeah, I need to use like the half hole opening over here. There's like barely a little, there's like barely a little cutout right there for me to actually get a screw in. I think this is the way that it mounts. I don't think it's 180 degrees from this. Maybe it's compatible with that. I could flip it the other way around, but then the harness cable would come out the top, which would probably be even more ridiculous for me to try to work with. I just can't get this screw to bite in. Oh no, yes I can. Yes, just as it bites in. Yeah, I think that's a different screw. I think that's a different pitch. No, it's just not quite. There's just a little bit of that metal plate in the way. That's what's going on. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. We'll just go with 3 out of 4. After all, it's only in there as a size guide at the moment. Probably not going to be reusing the. I don't know. Maybe this power supply I'll use in this machine. That's probably not that bad. I'll probably do that. We probably get that done. Let's see if I can get this in here. I think maybe I need to like file away at the metal a little bit, or just try to move it so that it grips. Oh, is that getting it? Nope. It needs to be like just pushed just a little bit. Otherwise the screw's gonna go in crooked. Well, that's going in crooked. I'm not gonna trust that to go in crooked. That's unacceptable. I'm not gonna ruin my power supply mount today. All right, we're just gonna leave that out. If that's gonna be a struggle, I'm gonna leave it out for now. Yeah, I need to like, there's like a, this is out of focus, hold on. Hello? Okay, there we go. Hello? Yeah, that is a weird, it's just not lining up quite right. Not lining up quite right, but that's to be expected. All right, so let's get the rest of this. I mean, I'm just gonna tighten that into place. I need a larger screwdriver. I think we'll use this thing. All right, so there's our dummy supply. Well, dummy supply. I keep calling it a dummy power supply. It's going to get insulted. That's our legitimate power supply. I guess there's a little grating that goes over it. It's not a hole. It's not a tab. It's something in between. Yeah. What's dummy thick? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. So the question is, how do I want to mount the Reservoir? So the Reservoir is just 220 millimeter fans. This is going to have to be, there's a lot of stuff that has to happen over here for this to be organized at all, because there's a lot of connections down here on the EVGA board. A lot of connections down on this part of the motherboard. And so there's going to be a big cable harness. There's going to be a reservoir, all kinds of shit going on in a very small amount of space. So if this is here, oh, I'm holding on to the cord for it. That's what's going on. This should fit. Oh yeah, I'm leaning on it. I was crushing the rails down. Okay, so that fits here. So theoretically it fits here. Farhan Iqbal with 4 months. Not much time to watch these days, but here to put my name up. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much for subbing, Farhan Iqbal. We'll put you up on the board. I appreciate that, man. And it's, yeah, it's all right that you can't be here. That's a-okay. Nobody's forcing you. I'm just happy for your patronage. Why is my camera being really crusty right now? That camera's being super crusty. What the hell? Okay, there we go. I got it. It was the mount was just like, ugh, gross. It was gross. This one's going nice and close. By Obscure Rare. Farhan Iqbal, thank you so much for the sub. Since the last time I was here, I got diagnosed with diabetes, spending more time exercising and taking care of myself. I need to do that. Good on you, though. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Not the diagnosis is not awesome, but the the dedication to yourself is awesome. Hey, Bother, I haven't been around because I got diabetes. Wow, that's super cool. It's not the right reaction. Ugh. Let's put artsplunge on the board too, just because I feel like it. 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 Artsplunge? Hello? Hello? Oh, there it goes. Artsplunge! Put you up on the board. Thanks for subbing. By the way, there were a lot of ill-fated attempts at printing out that fan adapter. A lot of ill-fated attempts. A lot of shifting axes. Artsplunge, you're by Poo Poo the Gorilla. Welcome to the board. Whoosh, little whoosh of smoke there. Totally worth it. Okay, why is the camera getting so weird so early? All right, anyway. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of the subs that you guys bring. All right, so we're working on the rack mount computer. We're going to try to make it look like something cool. Getting these holes to line up. Well, it looks like it can. Yeah, that'll mount just like that. It's a little tight. It's a little tight. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to get the bolts into this. And it's not like I can't reach the other side. I need to select bolts for this because I didn't, I probably should have, but I didn't gap these for screws. If I did, I mean, how could I do that? Is there a way that I could use fan screws on those? Because I made them for, so that fan screws could go the other way through them into a fan. I don't have like a fan to put these into. That's that gap is right there. I mean, if I reprint the whole part, I could put more plastic around that area. Something about this case confuses me. What are you looking at? What's your problem? It's a rack mount case. We're gonna start putting the stuff in here, and we'll get a better impression of where everything is supposed to go. So I would love if I had some kind of a thing that those fan screws would go into, like a plastic nut, but I don't think that's gonna apply here. I think we'll just do a nut and bolt. I think just the nut and bolt will do it. So let me get, oh, bolt kit is literally just right there. So I just need to reach, I just need to, got it, got him. We'll just use that. It's just right in. Yeah, that's the handles are the front of the rack. And then we're gonna design something to go here that'll have the reservoir on it. I didn't even need the gadget arms, just have my own floppy, stupid arms. Yeah, I really need to, God, I need to get exercise. I'm too bulbous, too round. Using the pandemic as an excuse is probably not my best look, huh? As to why I'm not exercising, seeing as I've got an exercise bike set up in the other room. I need a different kit. Different kit. I think this one has the larger. I need big bolts. Philly naked bike ride this weekend? Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't think I'd be doing anybody a favor by doing that. Not really my scene. The Fringe Fest, didn't that get canceled? I think the Fringe Fest is like postponing and stuff. Everything's getting that Delta variant treatment. Let's get nuts and bolts. I probably could use the giant ones. These guys, these would probably be okay. Those actually, well, but they stick out a little bit. So one size below that. Now maybe we should do the comically large ones. I should do the comically large ones. I'll just drop these there. I'm afraid to go to shit again. Yeah. Do you have a rack? You're gonna put this on in your workshop? No. No, I don't. Why do you think I would do this? Think, chat. Think. Use your brain. Yeah, it's so the rack is holding all of my stream equipment because this is just streaming computer. Typically I'm not playing games, so I don't use like the gaming computer with the streaming computer. It's a dedicated streaming computer that I do, you know, all the software and, you know, all that fun stuff with it. Runs OBS, has all the WebSocket connections and all that fun stuff. So I guess a nice way to ask if I can see your rack. Yes. Yes. Man, I remember when live stream fails and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, so this is the stream computer, and I don't do anything with it except for, you know, like stream computer kind of work. I don't use it to play games. I think way back in the day when it was a different operating system, I played Super Meat Boy on it because I built a controller. But other than that, I've got a second computer that I'm streaming with. And so this needs to go in the rack with all the other equipment, including the audio processing stuff and the capture card, whatever the hell that thing is called. I've got like the USB HD whatever. And then I will run an HDMI extender. So it's like an HDMI over Ethernet extender in order to run video over to this thing. So right now, as of last stream, we designed a 120 to 140 millimeter, yeah, Elgato HD 60S. Yes, that's the one. Thank you, Leb. Leb knows his stuff, man. I have beef brain, as in Hypno Space Outlaw beef brain. So anyway, yeah, once I get this thing running, I will have an extension, like an Ethernet, HDMI over Ethernet extension that'll allow me to have the other computers set up along with this one, and hopefully be able to do 2 computers in order to stream stuff. This is okay. So the problem with this is order of operations. Is I got to get a finger in here in order to get the bolts onto this thing, because they're not friction fit in any way, shape, or form. That's the annoying part about this. I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this. The way that I could have gotten around this is by designing those holes to be a little bit smaller in a different version of the part. But I mean, really I only need to get 2 of these things in there. Let's see if I can do a little forceps magic. And I'll need a thing for that. So let's get the screwdriver kit over here. It means I need to sit up without unplugging my audio. Hey, yep. Then I need a hex bit that will fit these things. Security or not. That'll do. I'm not sure if I'm 100% behind this screwdriver kit. My opinions are still out on this one. I think I might have benefited from getting the smaller one. I don't think I'm gonna feel that engage properly. And another thing I could have done is tried to capture the nut in the 3D print somehow. How would that have worked? Well, if it could have clipped in with like a little friction fit, that would have been nice. Actually, I think it might friction fit just as it is. If I can actually get this thing started, it'll put pressure on that cable behind it. And I'll just kind of stick it in place for now. This is kind of a Zen in the art of motorcycle repair situation, isn't it? Or it's like, actually it's not. It's the opposite. Because this was designed by a human that was too dumb to put in human design elements. So I was too dumb to make sure that a person could put this together. Instead, you have to be some kind of an alien that can phase through things. That one doesn't line up. Huh, because it's up against this. Okay, 3 out of 4 seems to be the theme that we're running with so far. Whoever designed this was an asshole. There's a little bit of that going around too. A little bit of that going around too. Yeah. Okay, so what's going on here is that I kind of haphazardly chose this radiator because it was a 140 millimeter radiator, and I had a theoretical 140 millimeter fan sitting on the side of the case, right? I went, oh yeah, 140 millimeters, let's get a 140 millimeter radiator. It does fit, barely, with the cables getting in the way. And I guess I can kind of organize the cables as I see fit like that. I can have them come out like that. But that's, it's putting a little bit of pressure on parts of the case. My thought was that I would have the exit from the radiator near the front. And that would allow me to run the pipes a little better in here. So we have the big radiator. We have the small radiator. This thing fits here with 120 millimeter conversion. And then I've got these maker beam rails on the front of the case. Maker beam rails are going to solve quite a few other problems of ours, including how to mount the reservoir. What are we doing? Only one self-tapping screw from success. Aren't we all? This, I mean, I could probably wiggle this out, you know, pop this out if I felt like it. We'll leave it pressure fit for now, just because we're trying to get a lay of the land here. Apparently, this space was going to be great for all the cables that you need to run in order to do this. And I do want this thing to look clean, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to run these cables cleanly and have it not look like an absolute disaster area. Oh my God. I hate computers for their cables. Wires in computers are something of a, oh man. No, we're not using grub screws yet. No. We're gonna avoid. I'm gonna try to stay away from grub screws for a little while. Okay, well, so far so good. I don't think that's that bad. It's a little dicey over here, but yeah, cable management sucks. It really does. But it's I mean, honestly, like they just, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But having multiple 18 gauge wires making up your high current connections, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, I would love it if computers would just use those high current hobby connectors for everything. That'd be great. Just an XT60. Yeah, ATX 12 volts is hopefully going to help out with that stuff too. But are they still going to use 18 gauge wires for everything? You're just going to get 700 12 volt wires going everywhere? Reservoir number 2, or sorry, radiator number 2 and the reservoir are up next. So how are we going to mount those? Now we can get something going now, and I can only rely, I don't know if I want to structurally rely on the 3D print stuff. I think I shouldn't. So having this mount somewhere in here, and I think probably front and center is the best bet. Front and center, and that's blocking most of the cable nonsense, so we don't have to look at that. If I can drop a vertical rail on these, I would have a good mounting point. Or even, that would require like a bracket. If I could do like a bracket up here. Let's think about that in just a second. Until then, I'm gonna have to do a quick BRB. So you guys sit here and think about what you've done. I'll be back in just a second. I'll put you guys out like this. I'll put up a BRB. Something's not agreeing with my stomach, so I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Are you still hand bending tubes? No. No. We're going flexible tubes. We're going flexible tubes, and I'm thinking that I might want to put like a fabric wrap, not a fabric wrap, but like a, I don't know, like a scrunchie around it to make it look cool. I don't know. That's just my thought, but yeah, let me do overlays, do a BRB. Yeah, we're doing tubes. I'm doing silicone rubber tubes though, which tend to get dust on them very easily, which I'm not a big fan of, but all right, BRB. All right, I'm back. What'd I miss? Nothing. Yeah, RimWorld OSD. Okay, so yeah, we're back. I'm back. I'm back. It's me. It's me. I'm here. I'm back. Yeah, we're trying to figure out where stuff's gonna go in this computer right now, so that we can start designing the parts that are gonna help us, you know, do the remainder of the stapling together. So double so. My stool is on top of the mic cable. Isn't that great? Okay. Stop a doop diddly bop. Diddly bang 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 video boop. I'm the scat man. Dum 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 do. Dum dum do. Dum 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 do. Dum dum do. All right, so we can consider this closed just because there's going to be, I guess I'm going to put fans there. I don't know if I can fit the radiator back there because this needs a little bit of extra room besides where the fans are going to... What is that? Oh, that's that. Okay, sorry. Oh, there's like an object in there. This needs a little bit of extra room, which I did not anticipate. Nothing fits in this case. Ah, God damn it. Let's see if we can figure out the reservoir first. Maybe that's probably the direction we need to go in. I only have these 2 vertical spans. I don't have additional vertical spans. If I put up more vertical spans, I can do the maker beam mounting, which requires a lot of bracketry to go in there. Or, I mean, I could 3D print something that would sort of supplement the what's already there, because I am going to be doing the same thing that I did with the other computer, which is doing stuff that fits into these and has like the ability to basically just hold up that hexagonal grid stuff. So it's going to be kind of an open air rack mount PC. It'll be pretty cool actually when we get it done. But there's so much to do. Okay. Yeah, I got to figure out how I want to do this. Let me get 2 pieces of rack, or 2 pieces of maker beam, I guess. I'll put this away finally. Get 2 pieces of maker beam and maybe we can get something going on over here. I don't know what happened to all the mounting stuff for that that particular radiator. Probably have it stashed away somewhere, but somewhere in these bins I should have stuff for. Well, those are all fans. Oh God, there's so much garbage. I don't have anywhere to put it either. Just this stuff over here. I don't think we really need to investigate into fans at the moment. So let's put those down there. We got those 220 millimeters that are going to go on the side of the thing there, or in the rack. I don't know which one yet. Oh, let's see. Maker beam. Maker beam, maker beam. There's like leaves in here. What's going on? All right, here's old computer grating stuff. The old speaker grill that tears apart your hands because it's metal. Let's put that there for now. Make a water cooling setup again. I'll most likely have a cooling tower next to the PC instead of trying to fit the coolers inside the case. Pretty much never move my setup anyway. Yeah, I mean, my setups move around, so I don't know if that's a great idea for me to do, but I've always toyed with the idea of like, it would be funny to be able to do like a car radiator in the basement. And then you just have like a computer cooling pump line that you could run to stuff. You just have like a home lab rack, and then next to it you'd have like a fish tank. I always thought that would be fun and funny, haha funny. That's like just barely too long. Is this a custom? No, looks like it just needs like it's 10 millimeter too long. Huh. Interesting. These come in increments of 10, don't they? No, I don't think so. All these gratings from my previous PCs are getting in the way. Siljerussell, what you doing? 46 months. What the hell is that? Cat's doing stuff. Jeez. Always cats doing stuff. Let's put you up on the board. Siljerussell, thank you so much for the 46 months. 4-6. Try to get stuff done around here. Keep getting interrupted. Apparently, we wait for the API. There it goes. Hey, finally. Siljerussell, welcome to the board. Thank you so much. And away we go. What I'm going to try to do is put this reservoir up in front of everything, and then that can give us a better idea of how the other stuff is going to mount. I can start to get measurements and stuff like that. You're by Paragon Ghost, and Poo Poo the Gorilla is apparently a popular spot today. You're by Lunatic Live too. I got to see a preview on the Djibouti show stream of Louis' Nintendo, or sorry, Game Boy game. Louis making a Game Boy game, Lunatic Live, and it looks pretty cool. There's a lot of limitations around the Game Boy, but he's got some pretty amazing artists doing their pixel work. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you actually didn't collide with anybody today. Good. Good. I'm sick of names colliding all the time. So I might have to make custom vertical spans for this thing. That one is already cut, so that'd be a good candidate for a second cut. Yeah, the Maker Beam collection is a little weird these days. I've been playing with the thought of putting a cooling line 1 meter down in the yard. Yeah, it does take effort. That's intense. It would be cool though. Oh, I get it. Okay, so all right. If I'm gonna do, there's two things going on here. If I'm gonna do vertical pieces of Maker Beam, there's no real good way to connect it like this on two sides, right? You can put one of the screws in here in the openings, the profile, the aluminum profile, and then I can screw this piece down onto it at a right angle, but I can't do that with two pieces. If I were to do it, I could do one vertical span, and then I could screw this top piece in and then screw down the two sides. So if there's ever a situation where I need to remove this stuff, it is going to be an absolute and complete pain in the ass, right? I have a spare 2-foot-tall aluminum Zalman Reservoir cooling tower. Oh, is that for one of those fanless setups? Is that what that is? The pump breaks. I always love the idea of living somewhere that has like a stream, like a brook out back. Scratchy mic. Bop, bop, bop. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Scratches, scritches. Anything? Never used it. It's been on the shelf. Yeah, I always love the idea of like living at a place that has like a brook, and you would just like throw a radiator in the brook. You'd have to run 2 loops. You'd run an outside and an inside loop with a heat exchanger. That would be hilarious to do. If the mouse would calm down on the farts, please. Okay, so I need to make some decisions here. I just don't know what to do. I don't know how I want to do this. This radiator's been getting gross, by the way, because it's just been sitting. I'm gonna have to like clean it out or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll just squirt water in it. this has mounting holes on it, right? They're threaded mounting holes. It's meant to go somewhere that 120 millimeter fans go. Actually, these are 140s. But yeah, like 120 millimeter fans would go somewhere, and then this thing will just bolt right to it. There are different lengths of these things that you can buy. They're meant to really go in the front of a computer, right? So that it's vertical, so that you've got a lot of distance between stuff. Technically, they can mount horizontally, and so that's how I'm going to do this. This one's going to go horizontal. It's going to go in the front of the case. It'll be sort of the I don't know, the conversation piece of the whole thing, right? Is that there's water there. So that should be pretty cool. Running the lines, I've decided that I am going to be using soft tubing because I don't want to hate my life, basically. In addition to that, I need a way to mount this to the front. This mounts like a 120 millimeter fan, but the height of this case is what, 2.5 rack units? And that doesn't quite match up to an even number of metric thingies. So I would have to cut a piece in order to fit vertically. That's the debate that I'm having right now. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get these things to mount. Now, the alternative to doing it with the maker beam, which is, it seems like a little bit of a waste if I'm not doing it with the maker beam, but if I'm not doing it with the maker beam, I could print out something that would bolt to the back of this and then also go up this vertical span, and it would be made out of PETG. I could make it a little bit thick, and it could probably hold on quite well for what it is. It would be a little bit flexible probably at that size, but I think I could come up with something that would hold it nicely. I'm just thinking, I would rather do it with the maker beam because it's stronger, but only by a little bit. And if I really wanted to mount it to both sides, I could use the maker beam brackets. That's going to look a little weird though. The brackets are silver, and yeah, they've got kind of this like bolty look to them. But I could do like corner cubes here, and that could hold the vertical piece. And then that would hold it out a little bit. Not that it, you know, I've got whatever amount of space that I want in front of this thing. I would like to be able to close the door on the rack, but these might even be too long for that. I think I need to move everything on that rack shelf backwards a little bit. Oh, that was a great time for a burp, stomach. Thank you. Appreciate that quite a bit. That was a meaty burp. Whew. Ow. God damn it. All right, so yeah, how are we gonna do this? Corner cubes, vertical spans. If I do it that way, that means I gotta cut these. It means I gotta cut these about 10 millimeters shorter than they are, and then thread them. Yeah, it's like an engine sticking out of a car. Yeah. The door is glass, so I don't think you can do a power bulge on glass. That'd be a hell of a thing. Corner cube. Do 2 of them, and then 2 vertical pieces. How's that gonna line up with the grill, though? What about the grill dough? Grill dough? Yeah. All right, well, I gotta do something. Might as well do it. And I gotta figure out what my process is for cutting these things too. This one's scratched, so I can cut that. I'm disappointed that I don't already have some that are cut to the right size. It's not like I've just started working with this case. And I don't think they exist in here. There's a lot of weird sizes from when I've needed to cut them in the past, but I think we'll just hammer away at this thing with an end mill, and that way I can get a nice machined end. This bin is in gross shape. There's a lot of gross stuff in this bin. Yeah, this is a candidate to be cleaned out. A lot of dust. I'm gonna start coughing. All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way here. So yeah, we'll cut these about 10 millimeters from where they are right now, and then be able to mount them into the case. So I need Well, I probably just need to figure out what this length is here, and then I can just use a ruler to figure it out the rest, right? So just like that, and 142. 141? Yeah, 141. What a weird size. 141 millimeters. Well, this isn't... I don't think my mill is ready to mill stuff. it's not quite looking ready to be doing any cuts today. I need to move some stuff out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. Like I said, I'm piled on top of myself. This is all of the 3D prints ready to go for the other computer setup. All of it's ready to go. We just need to build it one day. All right, painlessly as possible. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this end mill and just destroy the ends of these things, and then we'll tap them. We'll just do it as easy as possible. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Both at once, I think one at a time, and I probably want this to be up in the vise. So get a block on it, parallel bar, even though it's not going to be in parallel, it's just going to be sitting there. Do it like that. These squish a little bit when you clamp them, so I got to be careful to get the side of this thing in the vise, because otherwise it's going to distort the shape of that, and it won't cut properly. I don't want to bring out the bandsaw. The bandsaw is annoying. And it doesn't make a clean cut, so I'd be here anyway. Yeah, move this stool just a little bit so that I can actually get in here with my body. Okay. So 140. My guy's trying to reinvent the wheel here. This is fine. Do it this way, do it that way, do it the other way. No, I'm just gonna do it this way. That's actually almost exactly right. I just need to take it in a little bit. That won't be the most accurate cut in the world, but at least it'll get the job done. That's all I really need right now, is just to get it done. Dremel and cut off wheel. Why does jeez. CLL, thank you for following. The tweel. What, those people who always try to invent a wheel without rubber? As bright as it can go? I guess so. They seem dim. All right, well, anyway, I gotta lop off this little area. I get why it's never good enough, right? The method that you come up with, you're like, I'll cut this, and Chad will be like, why don't you saw it? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Do it this way, streamer. Ooh, that's a little bit more than I should cut off there at any given point in time. Still cuts it like butter. Probably one more pass. Two more passes. That's a little bit more labor intensive than it should be, but it's good enough for me. Now, how does that look? Well, it looks like a cut. Looks like I cut it possibly to the right size. Get the ruler. Where'd I put the ruler? Oh, it's over here. 141. That's what we're going for. 141. All right, cool. Did it. The only other thing to do is to file it. File it, and then maybe tap the hole a little bit more if we're going to be using it. That is a very crooked cut. That is not my best work. That's why files exist. Yeah, I don't exactly have a chop saw for this kind of thing. A chop saw is the best way to cut extrusion rails. I don't got one. I don't even have a miniature one anymore. I threw it out because it was kind of useless. I could put this back on the end mill and actually even it out if I can get it to clamp straight. So if I can put it all the way down like this and just get that to sit flush, which I don't know if I can, and I'm crushing my fingers, so that's not quite going to work out. This is where the belt sander would usually come into play. This is sort of why I always build a cutting jig. I should have made a maker beam cutting jig a long time ago. All right, that's good enough. Let's see how that sizes up. God damn it. It's just a little bit too long. Only slightly. Like a ½ millimeter too long. I'm gonna sit here and just file the difference for a minute to try to straighten out the beam ends. And then we gotta cut the other one. Put the file on the table and hopefully get a nice squared end off of that. Because yeah, it cut very strangely. And I think most of that is because of the way these things sit in the vice jaw. They, the extrusions, these little ends here, they bend in. And so this ends up, if it clamps a little weird, this will end up going in whatever direction it, Jesus, like it did just then, going in whatever direction it feels like. So I think that's what I experienced just now. Now, some people would have like a jig that would help them keep this parallel. It's like a 1/10 of a millimeter from working. And I need 2 of these too. At least my file isn't dull. Let's see here. Like I could just do that. There, see, it fits. But that's with this being pulled upwards a little bit. With it sitting flush, it doesn't quite fit. I cut it too close. It's too close of a friction fit. So my only problem with this is that I can't really attach it on 2 sides. I guess I can attach it to the bottom here, and then I can put a bracket on the inside of this, and it won't be visible. I think that's what I'm gonna do. What is making things parallel on a CNC particularly difficult? Is it like a pain in the butt? It's only parallel to itself, right? Major pain in the ass? Nah. I wouldn't know. I would not know. See, that fits technically. So what I can do is I can do 1 bolt through the bottom here, and then we'll do a bracket on the back. So let me cut the other one of these. Hopefully not make it as close as this one. It could probably still use a little bit of filing, but let's cut the other one. Let's cut the other one. See where we get with that. Back over here. Come on. Back over here. There we go. Everything, it feels like everything's kind of like fighting me today, huh? Including my body. My body hates me. Actually, that might work. I've got the parallel bar in the middle of the maker beam, and that's holding it flush with the vice jaw. So we can give that a little bit of tightness, and we can wang this thing up to be the right distance. It's still going to cut it crazy. It's going to make very weird cuts in this just because of the way it flexes. But that's why, I mean, that's why I'm just doing it quickly. I'm not really putting a whole lot into this cut. If I really wanted to, well, the mechanics, I guess I don't know how that would work out. I do have that like flush cutter, but I think that's not, nah, I don't think that's good. What I need is a chop saw, just a chop saw. Maybe a mini chop saw. I don't know. I was thinking of doing like a making a jig, using the maker beam to cut the maker beam. Yeah, that should be it. Why did those lock into one another? Oh, because there's a little stuff on this. Okay. So I'm not moving this one. I'm moving this one, and I gotta make sure to go to the right knobs on this thing, otherwise all hell breaks loose. One pass at a time. I don't know if there's a lot to look at with the heat of this. I mean, seriously, like a Dremel would probably be a perfectly fine way to cut this. It's just, I've got the milling machine. I'm going to use the milling machine. These are like 0.2 millimeter passes. It's excruciating. Ooh, lots of resistance there. And then I'm going to take it that way just a little bit, so I can smooth out that end and see if we get a good cut out of that. All right, see, it's a pain in the ass to have to cut these things this way, but it's all I got. Where'd the handle go? Where'd the voice handle go? Oh, there it is. I got it. Okay. And the cut is, it's absolutely bonkers. All right, it didn't make a good cut. Does the milling bit stay clean in aluminum? That's what the WD-40 is for. If you're cutting aluminum with an end mill, it can tend to stick. And so a little bit of WD-40 keeps it from sticking. That's one of the few uses that I actually have of WD-40 around here. But boy, there's a little bit of you guys know how I'm always talking about how I need to rebuild the milling machine. This is why. Because even in an operation that was that simple, the end that I ended up getting is pretty bad. That's a chattering right there. That's the bed moving forwards and backwards, you know, on the axis as it cuts. So that's creating a wobbly edge while a designer scheme, it is undesirable in your end mill. Now I can get rid of that very quickly just by putting it over the file. This seems relatively even though. A little bit. It moved a little bit over here. I mean, there's a little bit of unevenness to it, but it's all acceptable within the bounds of the project that we're working on. But yeah, that you know, truing up the slides for the axes of the mill, that's something that I need to do. I need to take that whole thing down to constituent parts, each individual part, re-grease, re-oil, check out all the zerks. I would love to upgrade it too, to use the 3-phase motor that I have for it. The other 2 horsepower 3-phase motor that I have for that thing. They get rid of the entire gearbox basically and replace it with that motor. Whoa, okay, yeah. That one very much so fits. That one very much so fits. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't really need to thread this end. I would go through the trouble of getting the taps out, putting a little oil on it, and then running it through there in order to make sure that the threads are okay. But the other side of this beam is what we are going to attach, and then the top part we're not going to rely on threads to attach. So these are ready to go. This one I'd like to get to be a little bit shorter though, because it doesn't quite fit in cleanly. And then we can figure out what kind of brackets we're going to use in order to mount that reservoir. I do have right angle brackets, and if I can use those, I'd like to. This would probably be best done on the end mill, huh? Because then I could take it like a full 1/2 millimeter instead of micrometers like I'm shaving off. Let's see if that just fits cleanly. Ugh, not quite. Oh, it's barely there. It's gonna scratch the anodization. I want it to just cleanly fit in. You know, the other one's just like a little tiny bit shorter. Oh yeah, it's perceivably shorter actually. That's okay. That's just gonna bug me every time I look at it. It'll be fine. All right, it's probably good enough. Let's get the file out of here. Get rid of my dust. That's aluminum dust. Don't breathe that. Okay, so how are we gonna put the vertical pieces on here? Well, that's easy enough. It's a whole order of operations thing. So the first things first, I need to get the top piece off of this, which requires one of these hex bits. Here we go. Still getting used to the screwdriver setup. It's too big. This one. What the heck? What? But you're... Hold on. you're supposed to be the hex bit. Or maybe I got the wrong one? No, that's what that thing should fit in there. Unless it's like English versus standard. TR sized. Or is there something weird and special about these? And I'm missing the real one. Doesn't look like it. It looks like it just sucks. Huh, yeah, why was that one such a fight? Try this one. That one went okay. It's not fully engaging into these. Which is a problem because this is one of the primary uses of the screwdriver kit. Well, I guess that fits in. Strange. Huh. Well, that could be one of the points that I'm making against this screwdriver kit in the future is that those hex bits don't work quite right. That's not good. All right, so let's see here. So this is held on. This bottom beam I would like to attach to the base plate because this can sag a little bit with weight. I'm not going to worry about that yet. First, we're just going to try to get the reservoir on there. So in order to do that, I think I can remove the bottom piece and the whole bottom part will come with us. And then we can get 2 of the maker beam things in there. This is not good. Okay, all right, hold on. Hold on. Oops, there goes the water block. It's either I'm using the wrong bit, because there's now like sharp, what the fuck? Look at this. Look what's happening here as I use this bit. I'm pretty disappointed in the screwdriver kit now. It just got chewed up. That's okay. That's okay. Big piece, big chunk taken out of it. What is that about? Yeah, I had high hopes for this thing. It's the security hex bit, but it's just got a little whisker now. Yeah, I don't know. I put high fix it in a bit of a higher regard. It might have been the screw. It looks pretty shattered. Oh, yeah, a little piece of chrome coming off of it. That should be like nickel plating, though. Yeah, it's a little odd. That's a little odd. Here, let's see if this fits in better now. Oh, yeah, that fits in better now. It might have been, there might have been a metal chip that got into the screw. This is the iFixit kit, so it's not AliExpress or anything like that. It should be a bit higher quality than that, because you know they pride themselves on their tools. As I remove this front piece, this thing gets so much more flimsy. This entire case, very, very flimsy. Okay, so those go here. So now we've got the 2 vertical pieces that we need to place somewhere on this. So that's going to sit there like this, and we'll have the 2 vertical pieces, and then we'll attach them to the top. Which means we need hardware for this stuff. Which are in these bins up here. Let's see. So they're the bolts. Are there any brackets? Where are the brackets at? That is not. Those are not. Nope. 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 These are special brackets. Here's the rest of the brackets. All right, cool. Those are the parts we need. The parts that we need. The parts that we need. Weenie. Make sure that doesn't fall out. All right, so let's see here. We can get 2 of these guys. So with Maker Beam, you have this extrusion, this aluminum rail profile that you're working with, right? And this rail profile has slots in it that can accept, let's see if I can get a shot of this, that can accept these specialty screws. And these specialty screws have flat sides so that when you put this into that extrusion profile, it will lock it in place. So you got these little studs that can stick out of your extrusion profile. And that's what we're going to use in order to hold down the vertical beams that'll hold up the reservoir. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it makes a good grip with the screw. So all right, with let's see, it's upwards and backwards are the openings, yeah, like that. So that means that here's where I need to put these guys. Of course, we can move these after the fact, but I mean, you can't connect both sides of those vertical pieces. I can only do one side of it. And then the top part, what we'll do is we'll thread in studs like this and then use brackets in order to bolt them down. That's typically how these things work. I like hiding the fasteners so that you can't see them, because it makes for sort of a better look out of the whole thing. So like I cut these two pieces and then I don't know what happened to them. They're there. Like, where are my parts? I do not know. So one of these ends we cut and filed down. If I were to be screwing into the end here, I would probably take a tap and go over this and open it up again. But since we're not, I don't have to worry about that. These are just going to sit up there. And then I'll put 2 bolts through these in order to mount a bracket. So I don't know where these are going yet. We should probably figure out the reservoir before we go further. Figure out how we're going to put the reservoir on here. Because yeah, these will make a nice strong mounting location. Oops, the wrong side. Make a nice strong mounting location. Strong. Will hold. Problem is I don't have a lot of mounting hardware for like the reservoir. I don't know what it came with stuff, but I don't know what happened to the stuff. Why is that one crooked? Jeez. Barely perceptibly crooked. Okay, so that's that. Let's move this stuff over here. Let's see if we can figure out how to mount the reservoir to this. The screwdriver kit's taking up like too much space on the desk too. That's the other thing that's kind of bugging me about it. See if I can just sneak it over here and not worry about it for a little bit. Chowder man. Okay, so that like this to the front of that, these holding it up. So in the grand scheme of things, without scratching the front, although it's probably going to get scratched by the end of this. Let's see. I could swing wide and go outside to outside. And then we'd have kind of like 2 windows that I would have to fill with grating, and then the centerpiece that I would have to fill with a thing. Or you can go on the inside. There's 1 track right there, which technically I could probably do with corner cubes and just one beam going directly up. I think I might opt to go for the outsides though. So it's like kind of got its own little window that it's framed in. So if I do that, it's just a 120 millimeter fan mount, right? Why are you fighting me? What's going on here? It would have to go outside because of the pump. But like that. And then I pretty much just have cubes that I can put in here and screw into those posts. I think that's pretty easy to do. I think we're going to get away with this. We might just get away with it, chat. What annoys me is that these things get really tight on the 45-degree angle and not the right angle. Yeah, the cleanest way to mount something to like face to face is those corner cubes, because I've got right angle brackets, but these aren't maker beam, so they stick out a little bit. If I were to use these, the distances would be all weird, and then it would end up looking very awkward. So I guess I'm gonna have to use corner cubes, of which I'm probably running out. No, it looks like I got plenty. Looks like I got plenty. By the way, I did order shoulder bolts. I ordered Borgish. God damn, I can't talk. What do you call it? Shoulder bolts. There we go. I ordered shoulder bolts. I ordered shoulder bolts so that we can continue. God, I can't say it without it sounding really weird now. I ordered the shoulder bolts for Burn the Subs. They're not going to be here until the 7th. We're trying to get the 2-axis test down so that we can get an idea of what the rest of the system is going to go together like. And unfortunately, that's just where we're at with it. So I can't do much about that. For these corner pieces, I probably should not use, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a screw through the entire corner cube. So I need to have the right-angled fastener out of the way. So what I need to use are the little inserts, the female threaded insert for the side profile, and then the very, very shallow countersunk bits. So finding those is going to be a bit of a challenge. Let's see if we can do that real quick. Darkness. Bolts. Bring the light. There we go. That's a little close, isn't it? Look at all that hardware. I need tweezers. There we go. My fingers are not going to be adequate for finding anything in here. Maybe you guys can just trust that I know that I'm looking through stuff. Controlling the shadows and stuff here is a little bit difficult. Yeah, see, I need these, the really, really short countersunk ones. I need 4 of those. And then I need 4 of, if I even have them, where are they? I just want to show you guys what the hardware looks like. I am proud of man. Oop, this and the piece right next to it. Why am I not? Why? Okay, all right. That shouldn't have been as difficult as it was. This piece right here. Right here. I need 4 of these. These go into the profile, and then they provide me with a threaded hole, basically. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Let me go back over here. Operation. Not quite. I'm allowed to touch the edges. This is hard for me to show on camera, isn't it? Oop, that's 3 of those. I can't even get light in here today. I think because this thing is blocking a lot of my light right now. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated. That's all right. We'll be able to make some good progress on this thing today, I think. And if I can start designing the parts to print, that'll sort of round off everything that I was trying to do with this. We've tried a bunch of different schemes in the past. I tried adding a reservoir to a piece of plexiglass that I was going to put over the front. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. I think this is probably going to be the best iteration of it, though, where we just have the reservoir mounted to the front as the primary conversation piece of the whole thing, and then, yeah, everything else behind a little piece of grating. I'm concerned about fitting that second radiator, though. I'd like to make that work, especially if I'm going to be putting the graphics card on this. All right, let's see if we can do this. Yeah, that'll be good. I just need to find a bolt that's going to go through the entire corner cube. I'll have to design the CAD parts around that, won't I? That's going to be a little weird. How are we doing today? Chat's kind of quiet. Just because I'm working. I guess it's easy to understand what's going on today, right? I hate computers. You know, you get around the little weird, stuff. I'm gonna unplug that thing. I'm gonna unplug that thing. You guys have lost your ability to communicate in any other meaningful way. Might be time to give the fart box a little vacation. Whoops. Broken. It's our only voice. Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. Nope. All right, let's see here. Just got to get these things in here, and then we've got to find bolts for it. And I think they're M3s. I think this thing is M3. We'll have to verify that. If it is, then I got plenty of hardware for it. Hey, it's my stream. I can do whatever the fuck I want. All right? I'm not going to take complaints from chat. The only reason you guys are here is to annoy me with farts, then you're here for the wrong reasons. Fuck! Ooh, didn't land up on the ground. All right, try to get this thing together here. All right, so 4 posts. I hope I can get a fastener through that. 4 posts like that, and then this thing up here like this, and then I will have to gap these appropriately so that I can get them to the corners. And center this thing a little bit. It's all kind of a little wiggly. It's all a little bit wiggly in here. I can't like loosely do this and then tighten it up because it's not, I can't get to both of the fasteners. What size is that? Hold on, let's find fasteners for the other part. Like watching others do stuff like this so I can think to myself, I'm learning something while I'm not. That's, I mean, you know, the learning through osmosis is kind of a thing around here. Yeah, so it's definitely not maker beam sized. That kit of bolts from just out of my reach. I got it. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Definitely not. So it's this size, which is a dangerously large size. Yeah, there we go. So that's the size. All right, so that is M4. Jeez. M4? Kidding me? All right, so those are M4. I feel like I'm stepping on stuff everywhere I go today. All right. My patience is very, very thin. All right, so is that actually going to fit through the corner cube? My guess is no. My guess is no. My answer... my guess is correct. It will not fit through the corner cubes. Okay, I gotta think about that then. So, I mean, I can drill out the corner cube. I don't particularly enjoy the prospect of that. I feel like this thing probably came with mounts. Like, if I could find brackets like this, then that would be easy enough for me to mount to this thing. But I don't know where they went. I don't know what I did with them. I don't have flush right angles. I've got these right angles, and I don't even know where they came from. I don't know where these came from. I have thousands of them. They're everywhere. But like I don't know what I used a lot of these in Burn the Subs, and I don't know where they came from. It's ridiculous. Where did I get these? What are they for? They suck. They're just the wrong dimensions. They're a little bit larger than the maker beam, so they don't quite work. That's why the corner cubes are what I prefer to use. Sure, just drop right on the ground, that's fine. All right. So, I mean, I guess drilling out the corner cubes is my best bet. I just need to get an M4 drill bit and the hand drill and just pop these 4 slightly larger. How do you optimize the amount? Perkin-G, are these homework questions again? They always seem to be homework questions that you come in here with. They really always seem to be homework questions. All right, so I need an M4 drill bit. Let's find an M4 drill bit. God. All right, drill bits. Let's see. I need the drill bit, and then I need the bolt, and I need to compare the two. And I screwed the bolt in. I'm currently unscrewing it with my left hand while holding this thing in front of the camera. There we go. Okay. Close enough for me to poop on. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. All right, close enough. Let me get the hand drill. That's all the way across the shop. Let me move you guys back over to the desk. Guys, question 2B. The eigenvalue of the following matrix. Oh, just a little question that I had for chat. Part C. Question 4. Get the derivative of right. So drills work on batteries. Recent discovery of mine. It's just something that I'm working on. I gotta go get a battery. Duh. Pulled the trigger, nothing happened. Okay. All right. I got it. I'm together. I'm not unplugging my cable by walking on it or forgetting the battery for the drill, or I'm a mess today, guys. I don't know. No, I'm actually in pretty good shape as compared to the past couple weeks, but still. All right. Just gonna wang jangle a couple little holes in these things. Oh, Jesus Christ. Didn't expect that to suddenly twist. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit loose. I guess the top bracket's gonna hold it a little better. I'll wait for my stomach to settle. Why is my stomach such an asshole lately? Oh, look at that. It's like barely anything. Ain't nothing. Probably means this drill bit is too small, though. Let's see. Can I just have a little space to put stuff for? I'm gonna get angry and flip out at my whole setup soon. Yeah, I need a larger drill bit. Larger drill bit, not quite the right size. I'm just gonna flip out and then just go to bed. I'll just go to bed. That'll be the best use of my time today. That's a slightly larger drill bit. I don't know where it came from. Looks really, really cheap. There's no coatings on it or anything. So these are going to be a little bit more. Why can't I? It's like, could you not be awkward? Jesus Christ! All right, all right. Letting the drill do the work instead of pushing down. There we go. All right, punch the holes out. Now I should be able to get a fastener on them. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do with the grating in this area, but if we get this stuff mounted, at least we'll have a better idea of exactly what we're up against, right? So I need to... How close to the bottom? How close to the top? I think we're very, very near all this stuff. All right, here, you guys come up here. Let's come up here so that I can lean in and actually work on this. Try to get the height right. Oh, is that not going to reach? Ah, fan-fucking-tastic. Fantastic. I love it. Well, if anything, I'll be able to use the inner ones, but... Alright, a couple frustrating things are going on here at once. There's a couple frustrating things going on here at once. These things are barely tight. These pieces here, they're barely tight. And that'll be fixed when I get the top brackets in. But right now, they are just kind of like holding by a thread. Everything is kind of holding by a thread. And so as I'm working with it, these are like moving back and forth and stuff. So they're just a little bit annoying. In addition to that, the corner cubes aren't quite long enough to get to that hole because I need this bar to be outside of the pump. With the bar outside of the pump, it doesn't quite reach. Yeah, it's like a millimeter off. So, options here. I could put washers on these to space them out a little bit. That would be my only real option here. This sucks. This kind of sucks. Masking tape. To what? Yeah, so that would be like here. This one I can mount. This one's just fine. I could do one here and here. They would be a little bit weird and off center. No, it's like a millimeter. It's like that's washer distance. That's not standoff distance. Close, but I don't have any standoffs that are that small. That's super small. I mean, bespoke. I could just design a right angle. I could design a bracket that would bolt in, right? It would have 2 bolts here and then the vertical bolts out here, and then I just print it, and that would be it. It would be easy to do. It's just right now I'm streaming and not printing. Printing takes time that I don't have while streaming. So kind of annoying. I think I might end up designing brackets for this because I think that would be cleaner in the end. But yeah, let's just try to get something mounted. So let me go in with this one. And it'll just be a little bit lopsided for now. Just to get the concept of this out. I need to like put everything just in the right spot the first time around. That's sort of really annoying. It'd be much nicer if I could kind of pseudo-attach everything and then move it into place. But that ain't the way that this thing is wanting to go together. Let's 3D print my way out of this. I need like a drawing, and then I can line it up with a drawing. So if those are there, this is going to move over a little bit. I could use the squares on the table in order to position everything. Move that into here. I can kind of open that up a little bit. See if we can get 2 screws in those. Oh, really? You're going to do this? This is how it's going to be? The drill bit I found wasn't quite large enough? Okay. Oh, no. It eventually makes it. All right. It's always something, isn't it? Always something. Now, I can at least take this one as our initial anchor point. Everything's just like a little bit loose. That's why it's so aggravating. I think it's just like a little bit loose. Just a little. Just a little. Just enough to annoy me. I'm actually going to get a hex key for that. An actual fitting hex key instead of the screwdriver bit. All right, so just for now, I've got that one mounted. And now I can actually move this stuff into position, which it almost is. Actually, that one is. So yeah, we can get that one. Damn. Kid is fighting me. Everything is fighting me today, including chat. Chat's been pretty good today. You guys are fine. You guys are fine. You guys are all right. Not saying too many nice things, but you guys are all right. Tighten that thing up. All right, so if I can get these into position, which they almost are. Well, 3 out of 4. Once again, I just got to move the one. So this is the lopsided version of this. I don't know. We're gonna put it up there and we'll take a look at it and we'll see if it doesn't irritate me. The alternative to this is, of course, me coming up with a bracket to put on there. And then if I'm gonna put a bracket on it, I'm gonna also want to make it hold the grating that's gonna make up the front of this case. So that's a thing. The problem with fasteners blocking other fasteners is that you can't tighten things up the way you'd want to. You'd want to like put everything together loose and then tighten it up. And it just doesn't happen with this hardware in the way that it is. Yeah, Meatloaf also couldn't catch a Yeti, so, you know. I don't know how much I trust him. To be telling me 2 out of 3 ain't bad. All right, I'm going to tighten those just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more than that. Don't want to go too hard on these because these are acrylic. And then I need a corner cube on this end. Got to do like acrobatics for this thing, jeez. That goes like this. Make sure that's closed so I don't send hardware all over the place. Of course, it doesn't close because something is in the way. There you go. I can't reach where the hardware goes. Okay. Do that, do this, do the other thing. Do it all at once. Everything together. And then I need these two. You have CDs still? Huh. Dinosaur. No, yeah, I'll never think of anything of Meatloaf other than his role in To Catch a Yeti. I caught the screwdriver on the edge of the table. Whew. I bet Gunhead has an 8-track somewhere. What do you mean somewhere? I bet he's using it. 8-track didn't catch on as much in the UK. Oh, I thought you'd have something like that just for the novelty of it, just to be weird. The screw got into a weird position. Come on, buddy. Please work with me today, screws. So the structural integrity of the front of this thing is a little bit dodgy at the moment. Excuse me. Wow, I'm right up against... Huh, I guess I wanted it to be over a little bit further. Oh boy. Why does that whole thing... That fills me with dread. I had a reel-to-reel on eBay. Oh my god. All right, so it's a little dense over here. I might need to alter that a little bit. I don't think this will slide over right now. No, I need to like take it out and I need to basically disassemble the whole thing in order to move it over. Oh, that's really annoying. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh. I don't know what EKWB was thinking with their design of these things, but I guess they just decided that this would go inside of the PC in some way, shape, or form. Because, I mean, they kind of designed this to be outside, but then they have cables coming out of the bottom of it. So... Oh, reel-to-reel splicing. I was like, splicing rig? What do you think I'm up to? What am I doing with that? Yeah, so that would hold on to there, and then I'd need 2 brackets behind this in order to hold that up. I probably also need to lift it up a little bit. But then I have 3 sections that I would need to provide with some kind of a front screen for. And technically, if I really wanted to, if I wanted to be able to do this, and I don't think it's gonna, I don't really think this is gonna work out. I don't really think this is gonna work out, but if I wanted to, I have this thing. I am the chowder man. I don't really think this is going to work out. This thing is covered in dust. This thing's been sitting for quite a while, but no, I'm not doing VFDs or Nixies. We're gonna keep this simple. This is technically, I mean, I would love to be able to have a platter drive caddy on this thing. So this is a platter drive caddy that I got. I guess you could turn on and off the platter drive if you wanted, but and then this was playing Hypnospace recently. Nah, just watching somebody else play it. That's a cool game. I don't know if I would be able to get into it, but I've got that song stuck in my head. Chowder Man. Was that what's that guy's name again? Hot Dad? Because it sounds like him. Looks like a fun game. Yeah, it looks like it's a fucking riot. It is. I knew it. It's just that style, the style that he has. It really reminded me, you know, internet comment etiquette and such. But yeah, that's cool. That's Hot Dad doing the music. Curtainer 420. Yeah, all the music in the game is original. Ah, it's so cool. What a cool game. What a weird, cool game. It's like, it's reminiscent of what the internet used to be like for us. Reminiscent. I'm not going to say that it's at all what the internet was like. I can't fit this. God damn it. I can't fit the drive caddy. I've watched it, but I still want to play it. Yeah. It doesn't fit. I can't do it. Oh, they added new content to the game? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. No, I was watching a playthrough from like 2 years ago. God damn, it's already 2 years. I would have to cut the rails in order to fit this thing in, or have it sit outside the rails like this, and then that would interfere with the motherboard if I really wanted it to. So I was thinking like this could also, I could wire this up as the power button for the whole computer. They added the content last year? Okay. No, what I mean is that I was watching somebody play through the game in 2019. Jeez. That, I mean, actually could work. That actually could work. Yes. This is getting a little ridiculous. This is getting a little ridiculous, but it does mean that I would be able to remove my stream drive from the thing. And I have a space for a power button and a status LED. I might do this. I might do this. Don't threaten me, chat. I'll do it. Hey, Leaf, how you doing? Okay, let's hold on. Platter drives can work in this way, right? That's so hideous. That is so hideous. But I mean, all this needs to do is just hold my stuff. Just hold my stuff in place. And so if I wanted that, then I guess I could come up with a way to mount this here. And then I can use the platter removal thing I got the pump all the way over here. I don't know how those fittings are going to work out. They're happier this way? Oh, I didn't know that. But then the reed head would... I guess it's counterbalanced, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna take a sip of soda here. Boy, this is going to take a lot of very strange, special things to get together. The wiring I am not looking forward to either. And that's technically kind of centered, although I could lift it up or down. If I put this all the way up or down, I don't think I give myself enough room for the platter drive. It'd be nice if I did, but I don't think we just don't have that kind of room. Or do we? No, I don't think so. This, so it'd be like that. It's close. It is close, but I don't think that's gonna work. How would I mount this here? I would need to make something that holds it vertically and evenly right there. It's a little bit insane. This is my stream computer, believe it or not. Well, right now this computer is just a pile of parts, but this is going to be housing my stream PC. There's 4 bolts on this thing. Let's take them off and see what we get. I can remove this housing around it. I don't know if I should though. Yeah, this is for the stream PC. That's kind of why I want this platter drive caddy, because I have bulk storage of the streams on a platter drive on this machine, and it doesn't need to be, but it would be nice to remove. It fits nicely with the plastic on. It looks like it's piled in. That's not nice fitting. It's hideous. It's hideous. I hate it. I could actually, I mean, just that door would fit probably somewhere. It almost feels like I could get it vertically if the circumstances line up just right. Just have it like there. I don't think that works. Hold on, let's just investigate something real quick. See if I can't do this. Because, I mean, if I'm designing plastic pieces for this, then sky's the limit, right? I can do whatever. That's kind of what I ran into with the other computer. I made a whole back panel for the graphics card, just because I could. This was a, what the hell was this? Silverstone case? It was like a media center case for the rack. So I'm not fully custom building this, but I am modifying it to within an inch of its life. You know, things like the motherboard standoffs and the general shape of everything, that's easy to just let somebody else do. Ooh, excuse me, I did not mean to burp on the mic. But yeah, what I'm doing is I'm modifying the front panel because it was riveted on and it was easy enough to drill out the rivets and remove it. So I've replaced the front panel with my own kind of thing. Now, it still needs some braces. It still needs some braces in order to make sure that it's strong enough to go into a rack. But I need to work out a couple of these little details that we're working on right now in order to get this all together. Ooh, just lost that. This is more of like a convenience thing right now. I mean, I could just put the hard drive on this side somewhere. Yeah, I want it rack mount because I want it to fit in with everything else. I mean, I could have just sourced a rack mount case that, you know, did everything I wanted it to. And the temptation is there, but this is also content, I suppose. This is also content, and so I'll just have fun tootling around and putting together some kind of a crazy setup. Well, I don't think anything is going to work after I remove this. I think this might be a key, might play a key role in the construction of the rest of this thing. Well, it holds up the switches anyway. Oh, no, actually, wait. Okay, something just fell. I don't know what that was. What just fell? Something just dropped out of this. It actually works without it. It's a little, everything is a little flimsy as a result. Hold on, let me find whatever the hell fell to the ground. Oh, there's a bar. A pin that's not held in place now. $860. Damn. Yeah, so there's a hinge bar that goes right here that I would have to hold in, but without that front plastic, I mean, this could probably fit. Oh, it's so close to fitting right there, but it doesn't quite. Damn it! All right, hold on, hold on. Let me just get this partially out of the way. Might be a little bit too much modification for our good. There we go. That snaps in. So it still snaps in. Like, I mean, I could fit it up here. It would just require stuff around it in order to properly interface and everything. I don't know. Is it a... No, no, no! Piece of shit. This is a stupid idea. Is it a stupid idea? 861. God damn it. Can't win. I can't win. Well, it would be kind of ugly because the hard drive would be right in the way. And if I do this, I might as well just mount it with the plastic piece. But actually, like this whole thing could fit right there. And then it wouldn't be in the way. It wouldn't stick out of the front. But then again, the reservoir also sticks out in the front. So it's like, why do I care? If I do it that way, the ugly way, with the whole piece of plastic sticking out crazy, then... No, I mean, I can make that look better with a little printing. But if I do have the whole drive caddy just kind of sticking up in the side here, that would also work. It just requires a lot more out of me in terms of hiding the design stuff, right? I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm like. 3D print something to fill the gap. It's a lot of design work though to get myself out of. I'm running out of like places for stuff on the front of this computer. Might as well just leave it open like this. And just have it be like an open computer. Which I'm actually warming up to that idea of just not even bothering to put grading on these pieces. Just have it open. That is the simplest solution here, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I guess I could make a panel that goes on top of this whole thing. And it would just cover everything to the front. And then this could be just part of that with the plastic on it. Let's put the plastic back on before this thing shreds itself, because it is coming apart live on TV. All right, so that goes in there like that. The right way? Yeah, I think so. That goes around here, all these wires. Yeah, it's a little open air though for a stream computer, right? I wanted it to be a little bit more closed off, but yeah, it might be the best way to do it. I can come back to it and figure out whether or not I want to make like an entire front piece that's this thick. that this would fit into. That's a big print. It would have to be done in a couple different stages. But then again, I could make it so that it holds the grill. So the grill would be out here instead of back in with this stuff. So that could actually work out. And then for now, I could get this whole thing running as just kind of like an open piece of framework, because I want to get this done. You know, that's another thing, is I want to actually figure out what work needs to be done on this and get it done. I want to get a computer in here so that I can organize my desk a little bit more. Maybe actually put the door on that rack and the side panels. Keep dust out of it. Make a little bit of room for a 2-axis gantry that we're going to move in here. Just print a new case. My printer's not that big. I only have so much print bed. But yeah, with this is building off of the confidence that we built, that we gained from the PC case project that we just finished. Where'd that screw go? There was a 4th screw somewhere. Oh my God, what happened here? Oh, that's gonna get interesting. One of the standoffs on this thing broke. What the fuck? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get creative with that then. That's interesting. Well, it just threads into that hole, so I just need to get what's left of it out of there. But yeah, 3 out of 4 standoffs. This really is a 3 out of 4 kind of project, isn't it? Jeez. All right, where'd that screw go? Stuck to something? No, I don't see it. I gotta be careful with this hard drive. This has all my old streams on it. There it is. I found it. I don't know where that standoff went. This thing, we've been working on this for too long. It has fallen over a couple times, and I think maybe during one of the spills, that standoff took the brunt of some kind of force. So, it was never meant to be idle for this long. Okay, so the idea is, if I can mount this here with the hard drive in it, it's out of the way, mostly. They mostly come at night. Mostly. There's another co-op game that I gotta play. The new Aliens. So this can actually sit, well, the standoffs don't quite. Yeah, this can actually live on standoff, so I don't need to use these brackets. 3 out of the 4 cores. No. That'll be okay. I can actually just use regular computer standoffs on this and have bolts stick through the side of the case. So that'll be easy enough to mount. As long as I can find the appropriate standoffs, and then that'll mount here. It really makes this computer feel like just a hodgepodge of shitty parts that I put together. But I guess that's okay. It's not great for a streaming computer, but it's okay. But yeah, that sitting on standoffs means I've got this power button down here that I can take advantage of. And I can use that as the power button and status LED for the whole computer. It's not like I'm gonna hot swap a platter drive. This goes up top here, and we'll have 2 brackets that come down and mount the reservoir to everything else. Why are those so lopsided? Weird. And then I can think about this space right here in front of the rail, and maybe make something to go in there. Hodgepodge tech casserole. Jeez, going out as a way with phrasing. So if I can try to bridge the cooling stuff, the order of the loop doesn't matter, right? Everybody told me that last time. It doesn't matter what goes where, just as long as it's in the loop. Won't use the front fittings. If I could use the side fittings. Problem is, I don't know if I can make that from Reservoir to, like right there, that, I don't think I can do that. But I can come up with stuff with fittings to try to bridge that gap. It would be nice to have just like one solid fitting from one piece to the other there. I may have to move this down that way in order to make that a reality. In order to make that come true. What I don't like about this Reservoir is the return is right here and the send is right here. It's really meant to have all this stuff above it. And you can use these. And technically when you do put this like in the right orientation, you have a drain plug. But I'm using it on its side, which is supposedly partially sanctioned way of using it. But that means that the water level is very close to the inlet of the pump. And I suppose when you're using it, the pump would be have a speed control on it, so it wouldn't be full till. When it does go full till, it's very easy for it to suck up bubbles and send them throughout the rest of your system. So it's a little tight in that regard. I would rather have, oh, what is it? No, the return is here, and then the intake is in the center. I would rather have that moved a little bit. Bubbles. Yeah, you can get bubbles with this system. A fair bit easier than I would prefer. All right, so that's the idea. I think I got a good idea of where I'm going with this. Just loosen up some of these tube fittings here. Oh my God. It's a hell of a setup, I'll give it that. I'm just gonna free up all these fittings. Top, no. This is meant to go vertical, not, because if this were flat, then the water level is even closer. Because this is the inlet right there. Yeah, so I don't think that would work out. I've seen these horizontal on some builds, so. V Nukem, sub, tier 1, 3 months. Hell yeah, 3-month streak. In 2007, I burned up a couple of pumps and they sucked air. Yeah, that's bad. You get cavitation and all that stuff. Ow, man, I'm trying to undo these fittings. Hurt. Owie. Yeah, the man, running a pump with air is just heinous, right? All right, let's put V Nukem up on the board. We go over to burn the subs here. We gotta reach over to my buttons. There we go. God damn, Rob Azimuth. Ugh. Oh, V Nukem's going all the way over here. Yep. You're right by a groovy something. Oh, never mind it. That's Jeeves. Ah, that's an interesting corner of the board. Weird names. Welcome to the board. Thanks for subbing. We're doing a lot of head scratching today, a lot of navel gazing. We're trying to figure out where to put stuff in a computer. Which shouldn't be all that difficult, but it is. The other drive on this computer is an M2 drive, so that's out of the way. That's on the motherboard itself. Boy, oh boy, am I glad we've moved over to a standard of hard drives that don't require extra mounting. You know, typically you can just slap an SSD on any part of the computer with a piece of tape, but I am super duper glad that I don't need to worry about that anymore. So yeah, standoffs here, this thing up like this. If I feel like getting fancy, I can design something to go around that. For now, there will just be a big open spot right here in the computer. This might scooch over a little bit to be a little bit more central, especially considering that I'm going to have trouble getting either the inlet or the outlet close. A lot of fittings in a very small area right there. And then, of course, I need to get a tube out of both of these into the rest of the system. Which, I mean, hell, I could do that flat on the front if I need to. The sky's the limit when you don't have any standards. These back here. Let's see here. So I'm going to put... What am I going to do? Where are we with this? I should probably try to find standoffs and drill a couple holes in the sides of this thing. Also, I want to hold off on that a bit. Not really. I could probably just figure that out right now. And then the reservoir on the back. I don't know how that's going to work. Back of the computer, we're going to put a dual 80mm fan reservoir. And I don't think that'll fit because it needs a little bit of extra space because of the 3D print and external. I was thinking about it, doing an external enclosure. So here is my problem. They want the fans all the way up against the sides right there, right? Yeah, I do have back space. I don't know how much. There's not a ton of space behind the computer in the final setup. It's an 18-inch rack, and this thing is just going to give me a good span. I don't think this will go the whole way. Yeah, that won't go the whole way. Well, what is that? Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, my batteries are almost out. Oh, it's fine. I barely use the giant ones. Where'd that roller go? Yeah, there we go. So 350 millimeters. What's 18 inches in millimeter? I gotta open up a browser window here to do this. .457. So I've got like 100 millimeters sticking out the back there, barely 100 millimeters. Which, you know, that plus fans is kind of pushing it if I put everything external. Oh yeah, and there's also a piece of the back there that I can't. There's a little lip over here. Oh man. Oh, they had to do that, didn't they? They had to put a little piece of lip outside of the case, didn't they? Yeah, that's not fitting. Neither's that, unless I offset all of the holes. All the holes would have to be offset by, like, over here. Well, shit. God damn it. Everything is fighting me on this build. I just can't win. I can't win with this build. Would one singular 140 millimeter radiator be enough for everything? I know, Dremel time. If I cut any more holes in this case, it will just collapse into a pile of parts. It already is a pile of parts. It's not really going to take that much more of my bullshit before it completely disintegrates. This thing is like looking for any excuse right now to just become just rust. In real time, we are watching this thing return to the earth just by working with it. I don't think I have the space to do like big standoffs out the back of the case. It's too bad these don't come out at a right angle. I could have snuck the tubes like in here. Have this like out the back. Just like a zip tie this to the back of the case. Put some fans on it. The fans could be internal and then the radiator external. But then I'd have to figure out how the tubes are getting in and out. Yeah, some people build up computer cases. This one decomposes. I'm a decomposer. I unwrite music. This sucks. Everything about this sucks. There's just some weird stuff that has to happen in order to get this all together. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Could offset that over here. Put it on standoffs like goddamn everything else. Oh, yeah, but the problem is the PCIe slot that's above the graphics card is taken up by a USB extender. So that's one of the reasons why I chose this case, by the way, is that it took the full motherboard, and the full motherboard is loaded up with USB slots, and that's the reason that I'm able to have as many webcams as I have on this stream. So that is kind of a requirement, is having that the full motherboard in there, which means if I were to put something like this right here, it would get in the way of that top PCIe slot. God damn it. Everything is fighting me in the worst way. Company that makes the crappy RC transmitters sounds like what? Oh, sounds like Uninvent. Devention? Oh, de-invention. Uninvent. Is that the final position of the reservoir? It's close. I mean, aside from it could maybe scooch in one direction or the other, but it's not like this is going to fit anywhere like in the front panel. With the hard drive there, I don't have room for it as like a special side panel. That would have been kind of neat. But there's also pin headers and stuff over here that will get in the way. The only big radiator is this one. That's all that'll fit. I thought I could get away with this thing here. I mean, if I put it on significant like standoffs, I guess I could put that there. Yeah, actually, wait a minute. So if I have two big standoffs, I can just loosely put this sort of in this area, and then I can have exhaust. I can put fans on the front of it that'll blow out. It's just a little bit slapdash. Honestly, like 3D printing something for that would be good. Oh no, but then our original problem is that the PCIe slot doesn't fit. God damn it. You can have enough room for airflow. Yeah, man. It's got a 140 millimeter fan on it, and that'll be coming probably into the case. But yeah, that'll be fine. It'll create enough low pressure for this that plenty of air is going to come in from the side. All that's really blocking it is the pump and the wires. Yeah, hard drive sitting in open air. That's just the storage platter drive. The reason that I have that there is that I can remove it and plug in another one whenever I fill it up with streams. Got a big empty space right there. Put this on a special bracket like this above stuff. Like if I did this here, I could like, but the problem is there, okay, so vertical space is limited because stuff goes on top, stuff goes below. So those get blocked very easily. Those holes, vertical holes get blocked easily. These side holes, there is a bit of air gap there, and out the back there's a bit of an air gap, and then there's the biggest air gap in the front, which is where it gets fresh air from. But of course I can't quite fit this thing in the front. Not that I've calculated how much radiator I really need. I mean, this would probably be fine for the processor for the most part. No, it can't stick out like a supercharger in top. No, I can't do the Subaru thing where I've got it at an angle right here. That would be cool, but putting it at an angle. I do need to figure out what that fastener is going to be. Whatever holds this piece on. Because that's a primary piece of stabilization of this whole thing. It's cursed. This is completely cursed. It's like two 80mm fans can go back there, or a 120 can go on the side. But you can't fit a radiator and the motherboard, unfortunately. I could just mount this like that. Airflow is limited to the top and the bottom of the case, though. To like put this like all the way up here. I would get in the way of the processor. Damn it. The old JDM race cars with exposed oil coolers, yeah. Put it at like an angle right here, like a 45 degree. It's in the way of the processor. Have it stick out the back, just horizontally. See, sticking it out the back would have been the smart play. But first of all, there's not a ton of room behind the thing. If I do this, I would need to figure out where the tubes are going. It's not terribly difficult. Actually, if the two holes for the tubes would be right there, I could do that. That would really be turning the back of the computer into cheese, though. Which isn't terrible. But if I do the 280mm out the back, directly out the back, does that even, doesn't even fit. Because of they bent over the end of the case. Luckily, everything I need a computer for only needs a potato to run. Well, I mean, you know, honestly, like this computer does not need to be all that powerful for what it is. Every now and then we'll do something that requires a little bit more processing power, but it's still well within the realm of like your office Dell. I'm trying to show you guys here. See, there's a riveted lip on the outside here, and these holes don't respect that they go right up against the edge. And so if I were to do anything with this, the fans technically wouldn't fit on the outside of the case. And no respect. No respect at all. Yeah, it's fucked. It's so fucked. Everything about this. Everything is just like 1 degree from fitting. It's just like so close, but cursed. Oh yeah, and in this case, if I do mount that properly, this gets in the way of the rack, so it wouldn't technically fit. Wow, okay, fine. Fuck you. Damn, I have to do something with that. That radiator's gonna need a job at some point. And all these extra radiators sitting around that I haven't been able to use. Is a singular 140mm radiator enough for something like this? I guess if I'm moving enough air through it, it should be okay. The whole point of water cooling this is so that it would be quiet. try to quiet it down. The rack can't really make that much noise, to be honest. So if I get a 120mm fan here, and maybe an 80 or something over there, I got the 140 over here, chugging away with a radiator on it, I think we'll be okay. I don't think a Raspberry Pi needs to have a cooler that's twice its size, 4 times its volume or whatever. I don't know what we'll do with that. Maybe Burn the Subs can use it. I have the 3-fan version of these. That was going to be for water cooling my gaming computer, but Audacious Ferris, thank you for the follow. We're having kind of a butt scratching session here today. Internal SATA docking station. Take a look. That's a Thingiverse, huh? That's cool. I don't have the drive for it though. Plus, I've already got the station. I've already got the docking thing. So that's a cool 3D print though. That's a nice part. Yeah, I was obsessed with looking at these sort of like drive caddies. And this is the one that I chose. It works. It's going to work for this purpose, but yeah, it'll just be a little bit awkward. It just kind of looks kind of stapled in, which I guess is okay. I guess that's okay if you really consider it. So we barely got this thing to fit with the fan. The Reservoir sort of mounted. That's going to need another bracket. We moved it over to the left as far as it goes. It might need to go a little bit further to the right. Just because of the difficulty of getting tubes around to everything. This is going to need standoffs in order to mount in there, and then the back right corner needs a little bit of attention. I don't think I'm going to be able to put a radiator in there. All things considered, I guess I could have done a singular 80mm fan radiator, but then it's like, what's the point? This just does not seem like it will fit in there, and I should have thought about this before. It won't fit because there's a PCIe card that's going to get in the way of it, because the second to top and the third to top slot are the GTX 970. The top slot is actually a USB extension card. Those are vital for me to continue to do this stream because they handle all of the Logitech webcams. Logitech webcams tend to hog the bandwidth of USB as well as have conflicting addressing on the USB bus. So the solution to that, and what many other streamers do, is they have multiple USB cards, and then the card is its own sort of USB, I don't know, ecosystem or something. It moves the IDs far enough away that the cameras don't get confused with each other. And so I'm kind of locked into that hardware. I need a full-size PCIe, a full-size motherboard with all the PCIe slots, the 7 slots, and then I need the graphics card and blah, 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 blah. That's just the way it is, right? That's all the stuff that's going to be in here. So I don't really have room for another radiator unless I did it like up top in a weird way. just put it just right there. Just like at an angle right here with fans on it. That actually could work. I just have it as like a just sitting in the middle of everything, just at an angle with some fans on it. Yeah, that might be in the future. The other thing that I could maybe no, I can't do that. I tried it. That's right. Slim radiator with a slim fan on it does not fit there, and I can't put anything outside the case over here. Can't put stuff outside the case over there, but it still doesn't fit. So yeah, unless I get into like really expensive stuff. No, okay, so because this is in a rack situation, you can have stuff directly on top of it and directly below it. Now, that's not smart to do in a professional, real, large rack. You would have at least like a 1U spacer or something between your machines. But in my case, I've got the PDU. Oh, good, I just froze my camera. That's great. I didn't really even pull on it that hard. All right, hold on. Let's reboot the camera. That means everything's going to be all screwed up. All my USB addressing, all of my camera calibration stuff, it's all going to be messed up now. All right, hold on. Hold for camera fix. Properties, deactivate, activate it again, and we're back. Only now we're in autofocus. Hooray! Which might mean that I need to, let's see if we can do the procedure on it. Nope, the WebSocket's busted. All right, I can restart Stream Deck, I think. Well, I think I just need to manually do it. This always messes things up so much. PS, go to 30, click OK, go to the properties. See that? Look at what it's doing. You jerk. Your video. I just wanted to swing the camera around and show you guys. But won't let me do that. Turn that off, click apply, click OK. Turn off low light compensation. These Logitech cameras are a huge pain in the butt, but when you get them working, they do pretty good video quality. Okay, and then now I can go to highest FPS and click OK. I forgot some of the settings because that's just what it does. Configure video, turn up the gain till it looks nice. Somewhere around there. I think this one I leave the white balance on, or the exposure, auto exposure on, because I tend to move it from the lights back and forth. So, okay. Now, it doesn't look great, but it looks okay. All right, so yeah, anyway. In the setup that I have it on, the rack is pretty densely populated. So that's the file server. It's gathered. You can see the kind of dust that rolls around this shop, the kind of things that I'm trying to prevent from getting inside of my computers. I need to vacuum the front of that to get rid of the dust. That's the backup power supply. I think that's like 1,000 watts or something like that. That, and then I've got a keyway panel for, you know, all the hookups and stuff. I've got the audio input, Raspberry Pi that's running all of the home automation stuff, and then just a charger. Then all of my network stuff, then the computer, and then all the way up top is a power distribution unit that I've labeled and everything. And then there's fans in the top. I'll probably add a fan to the back. I've got a 200 something millimeter fan that I can put in the back of that panel, just to exchange air. Back of the panel, the back panel of the rack, right? So that's where this computer's going. It's going up into there, and the top and the bottom is pretty well blocked. That's just a rack shelf there that I installed in order to just hold up some of the weight of this computer, right? Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't even touch it. Oh boy, is my USB-C on the Brio starting to get dodgy? That's no good, because I literally just configured that whole thing. Getting a little annoyed. You hit it just right and everything disconnects. I need one of those screw terminal connections for that thing. That's really getting on my nerves. So now everything has turned itself back on. The white balance has changed. The gain is just wherever the hell it wants it to. I can adjust the gain and it's not doing anything. That's beautiful. All those are already on their own thing. Autofocus controls back on. It is a nightmare. All right, back to 30 FPS. Click OK. See, everything goes psycho. I go back to properties. Go back to configure video. I can turn the gain up a little bit. If it'll, yeah, it doesn't even listen to the motherfucker. These cameras are killing me. Bop, bop, bop. All right, so I got control back. Of course, the face cam is probably also... Did it take out the face cam? No, the face cam is still configured properly. I gotta get a haircut. I gotta get a haircut. Oh, my buttons don't work anymore. My focus buttons don't work anymore. God damn it. Okay, hold on. I gotta restart Stream Deck. I have to restart Stream Deck. No shitty Behringer rack compressor. All people have one. I could use one, probably. I don't have room for it though. I mean that thing is full. All right, quit Stream Deck. Start it up again. This way it'll reconnect all the web sockets. I can see a little bit of lag there. There we go. Okay, I got control again. Now I'm going to touch the camera and it's going to disconnect immediately, right? Okay, so that's where we are with this thing. I would like to fancy it up, maybe come up with a front panel design, just to give it a little bit of glitz and glam. But I don't, you know, we'll leave it as it is for now. I will do the standoffs. Get some of these parts in together so that everything is held together. We can't really figure out where to put that other radiator aside from just hoisting it somewhere in the way, which would be funny, which I might still do, but that's just where we are with this. I don't know if I have a whole hell of a lot else to work on. Is it really only 3 o'clock? Holy shit. Well, it's almost 4 and I've been live for 3 hours. Isn't it like 3.5? Isn't that what Twitch wants you to do? Let's install the hard drive thing then. Let's get some standoffs going and we'll We'll just fire a couple holes in the side. Why did you just beep at me? Why have you done this? Dear God. You know what? I got 5 units in me right now. That's coming back down. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, yeah, let's do the standoffs on the side of this thing. We can at least do that right now. I can't believe it's only been a couple hours. I really need to be able to do game streams, so I don't so I have stuff to fill time with. Fill time with your buddy Phil. Now there's a couple different distances. Why did that catch? It's like every opportunity to catch on something, you know? Every single goddamn opportunity to catch on something. All right, so I need this to basically be right here. Only all the stuff needs to be in exactly the right spot. So I need to figure out standoffs. Now this thing does already have this weird hard drive mount to it with standoffs. We can just get rid of that. That just screws into place. And that's right in the way. You can kind of like get to one screw and then you open it and then you can get to the other screw. What a weird thing. What a weird thing this is. Okay, so number one. That out there. I guess I can also do the brackets for the reservoir once we're done this. So we can hold that reservoir in place. We'll know where it is. My only problem is I don't know if I need to move that reservoir just a little bit. Move this to the right a little bit so that I can actually get the tubes from place to place right here. Because that's a challenging area. That's a challenging spot. That spot is cursed. This is like too hardcore computery stuff, huh? The faster I look at this, the protecting stuff is still on that surface. They left it on everywhere that two surfaces were attached to one another. Seems like they kept the protecting stuff on during the entire assembly process and then peeled whatever they could get to afterwards. I remember having to peel a lot of the protecting stuff off of like the sides of the panels. I guess they just didn't do that. They just didn't peel it off. Crazy stuff. You guys are super interested in that, right? Super duper interested. Oh, the LEDs came out of this. Or the one singular LED, okay. The question is, like, how do I guess I need to figure out how to bridge the some of the contacts of this thing so that it technically is powered on. It's got its own little circuit board here, and I don't know to what end they are sending power through this thing. Because I'll wanna make that into the power button for the entire computer. That's gonna be a little bit of a modification. Well, let's get it mounted first, so that I can make these decisions. This whole build has been decision fatigue. Okay, just get that on there for now. So, that there. And then I've got 4 mounting holes. What is in that corner of the computer? Let's double check with the computer. I can't really see it. Nice feature for shutting the drive down overnight. I don't know about that. You're not supposed to do that. That corner of the computer is fairly dense, huh? A lot of fan stuff going on over there. And the PSU, and then I got power buttons right there. So the drive would be right up against that, but I don't think it's going to interfere at all, which is good. But just a little bit of space up there. Okay, so that should be a pretty decent spot for the hard drive caddy, as long as it's just a little bit out of the way. If it mounts flat, I'll have to move it as far up, I think, as I can, just to be out of the way. So like that. Yeah, just a little tiny bit of overlap, I think is all right. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Where am I going with this? Come on. Like that? Yeah, okay. Ugh, 2 different distances for the standoffs. I mean, I could just do the ones in front. Those need to be how long? I guess I'll just use the ruler in this case. $15 millimeter. So I need 15mm standoffs. Oh boy, do I have anything like that? I don't... let's take a look. Let's see what standoffs I have. I don't know. Let's see how close we can get to 15mm with them. I have a lot of computer screws in one bin. This does have standoffs, but they're not quite the right thing. I have another bin that has just tons of... Yeah, here it is. Just a brass standoff bin. Always good to have. So 15mm out of one of these things. And then I have to attach it on both sides, but so that the hardware doesn't stick out too far. These are small enough that I should be able to do this. Oh, yeah, there's 20mm for that one. Which I think is too far, but let's just take a look. Just find some screws for that. These screws are gross. This brass standoff set came with some really just gross screws. I don't like them. And then I think a little bit shorter for the other ones, but where will 15 get us? Well, 15 gets us into like interfering territory. It's a decent spot, but sorry, 20 rather. So we'll see if we can find one that's a little shorter than that. A little shorter. Hey, at least I got a lot of these things, right? Yeah, that one's too long. Yeah, I think this is the one. Well, the ones, I need 2 of them. I need to find one that's slightly shorter than this for the rear. There's that one. All right, what are we doing tomorrow? I think we're taking stuff apart tomorrow. We can take a look at Groovy's little tiny RC car stuff that he sent here. That stuff seems adorable. And what else? You know, I took apart that hard drive thing last week. I still need to talk to the other Lone Star to see what he thinks is salvageable there, or what his expectations are with that thing. Because like I figure I'm gonna keep the rack mount as like a basis for another project. If I want to make like a synth for Julian, I'll do it using that, and then I'll have plenty of hookups on the back side and some buttons on the front. It might be a little too much though. That might be a little too much to kind of cater that to my needs. I'll have to think about that one. This is really wonky, isn't it? This is really wonky. Yeah, it's all right. All right, so what about the top distance? So the top looks like it's probably 10mm. Let's see if I can find hardware that'll properly do that. I mean, that's not 10. It is about half of that, though. Shit. We'll try it. Give it a shot. Then I can mark where these go. What is that first piece of the emote? Oh, Dr. WD-40? Zoom. What is that thing? I don't know what that is. I can't see it. All right, go back over to here. Man, everybody's got animated emotes these days. I should probably do animated emotes. Oh, it's a camera lens. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. It's camera. Fishing for standoff supplies. Trying to get this thing together, chat. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get a lot of work done. And I'll all the sooner have a computer that maybe functions. I may want to use standoffs and bolts on this side, just because I'll have room for the screw to go in. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll gonna be okay. Let's see. Oh, there's a problem. Actually, no, that's not a problem. This will work out. Well, technically, I think the rears need to be a little longer than that. Yeah, I think I need slightly longer rears. We'll see if I've got it, but yeah, it'll gonna be okay. It'll. I don't know if I have like a mid-size though, or if I do, they're probably all on Burn the Subs. That's really where this kit came into play most, is on Burn the Subs. What is the actual difference in distance between those? So that this is a 15 millimeter, and it needs, yeah, it's like 4. It's like 4 millimeter. So this is probably a 10. That is a 10. That's a 15. So I don't actually think I have standoffs that bridge the gap between the two sizes. It needs to be slightly longer. I don't think I have that. I don't think that exists. It's not real. Just like birds aren't real. Nah, I don't have them. Okay. So that'll either need washers, well, probably just washers, right? Probably just washers. So let's figure out some stuff about this. Distance between holes. 125 by, that one's gonna be harder to measure. 125 by 80. I don't know how much that's actually going to help me, though. Basically, 125 by 80, and then those two go there, and those will go across from them. If I do it properly like that. Yeah, all right. So I know approximately where these things are going to go. The fronts, I guess I'll just do based on the rears. The rears I'm doing based on this right here. So this is gonna get weird. This is gonna get weird. It got weird. Get all the way up here. Everybody all the way up there. All the way up into space. So here, just above that, and then we've got 125 at a right angle, and then 80. So let's make some marks, huh? Well, I guess I could just put the thing on top of this. Where'd my silver pen go? I had a silver pen that was kicking around. I don't know what happened to it. I guess I can grab another one, but I don't want to. I want to use that one. I had it. It was green. Where did it go? Is it at the other? It's at the other desk, I bet. It's probably buried under a lot of stuff. Things usually are. Nope, not buried. Well, here's a brass one. Maybe that'll show up. These are just like paint pens that I bought. Actually kind of nice. I like them. They were cheap. Metallic color pen. Yeah, I know. I'm inundated with junk. I am just completely inundated. Inundated. Okay, so I can't really get that to position. I mean, I could do that just to try to get the distance right and even. Yeah, so it's like a little bit low on the panel. So it'd be like here. So if that one's there, then I've got 80 millimeters, or sorry, it was 125. Yeah, 125. We'll see how discombobulated all these are when I'm done. That's kind of impossible. 125 about here. And then 80. Puts me right about here. These are going to be so far off. I'm going to be so mad. Oh yeah, I'm going to be pissed off when these holes are all in the wrong spots. This is prophetic. I guess I could like put them on a piece of paper and then transfer them. Or I could just drill them, just deal with the consequences. That's what we'll do. I'm just gonna drill them and deal with the consequences. So I'm gonna use a smaller drill bit on these. I'm gonna take the haphazard approach. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, Jesus Christ, that just walked. No one's gonna see it. Talk about nibbling. This is a dull bit. There we go. Nope, that walked. That walked. Hate it when the holes walk around on you. Okay. This is my least favorite part. This is when all your holes end up in the wrong place. Why is it? Okay. You stay still. Nope, that is completely in the wrong spot. That is not. I should like punch these, but whatever. Good enough. I'm gonna get metal chips in the power supply. That ought to be fun. All right, how am I gonna deburr these? Oh wow, why do I have like a mark on my finger? Deburr. Let's see. I guess I can do it from the other side. I could do it with a step drill. Yeah, I guess that's my best bet. All right, let me find the really fine tip step drill. That one will do. Just get at it from the other end. All right. Yeah, those are the worst. They walk all over the place because they're on sheet metal, and then it just doesn't like center itself properly, and you just end up with real nasty holes as a result. That's where the self-drilling sheet metal screws come in handy, right? Oh, come on. This is an awkward position. Oh, come on. Pokemon, go to your hole. All right, go. Yeah, there's still a big burr around it, but we'll just... I'm just going to see how terrible my holes are aligned after literally the absolute minimum amount of aligning for putting those holes together. That was very haphazardly done. And let's see how horrible the other end of that is. Let's see what kind of nonsense we're in for here, huh? They're not great. They look like they might be close, though. We'll see. Let me get a couple of these flimsy little cheese screws out here. See if we can get them to mount on. That's the worst that could happen, yeah. Self-sealing stem bolts. I think... Did I watch that recently? No, I think I'm getting close to that episode. The one where basically they break down how the Federation is so broken. Where, okay, what, that one screw I have, but it flew off. There it is. I got it. All right, let's see if this hard drive mount will go in. You know, the amount of carefulness that I put into aligning these holes properly could probably be measured on a number scale and end up in the negatives. And I'll put them in loose. That way I'll have a little bit of wiggle room as I tighten them up. But they're just going into another flimsy bracket, so this might all work out in the end. At least you know the hard drive gets exposure to outside air. Oh yeah, that doesn't align at all. Oh no, it actually, well, it started to grip, and that's all that really matters, I guess. Yeah, that one's a little discombobulated. But the by the magic of really cheese hardware, as we tighten everything up, it's all gonna bend into place. So I think it's at a little bit of an angle. Yeah, I could probably do to shave the standoffs a little bit, but it is held in the right spot. It's all, it's pretty solid. It's just a little bit crooked. There's just a little bit of weirdness to it. That's going to be the power button for the entire computer, huh? Funny that it's on its side. It's on its side and it's on the wrong side. That's going to be kind of interesting. Maybe I should have gone for the pile of parts aesthetic and just made it look like a pile of hardware sitting in the corner. Just embrace it. Just completely embrace it. All right, let's get the top bar in so that I can solidly mount the reservoir. I mean, I could try to. I don't think that's going to allow me to sneak it. I mean, the fact that it wiggles like that is really disturbing to me, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I can't quite force it to move. So let's get all the hardware in the top piece here. So what this requires, here, let's put this side panel on. What that requires is, come on, where is this thing? I'm gonna give you guys this back. Burp, burp. All right, yeah, we need a couple of these guys. And then I need top bar, which has gone somewhere. No one only knows where it went. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. It is right here. All right, so what bars am I going to use in order to hold on the top of the reservoir? Well, we don't need tons of bolts. I only need really 2 on each surface. So what is that magnet doing in there? Let's get this magnet out of here. What are you doing in here, magnets? Get out of here. You're messing up my bracket case. Got just like a random neodymium magnet sitting inside of this thing. All right, keep your brackets, whatever. Okay, let's see. So I really only need like 2 bolts on each one, which I don't know which bracket that. I mean, like these are too much. These are better for like if you have 3 bars that are coming together in one location. But we only have 2, so having like 3 bolts on one and 2 on the other is not really. That's not really necessary. So the ones I'm looking for are the ones that I use up first. There are ones that are just 3. These guys. These little Ugg boots. It's got 2 on one side, 2 on the other. That should be well more than enough to hold up this thing. So I need 2 of these brackets. They're harder to find because I use them in a lot of stuff. You know, I use them as like stoppers and things. Okay, there we go. That was easy to find. It's a little easier than I thought it would be. And then I need 2 on each. So 2 on these. And these are immediately going to fall all the way to the bottom, so don't even fight it. One, 2, and 1. And 2. And you can't quite hold those in place. They just kind of fall. And then I need 2 on this bar. So I need to undo one of the ends. You can't, the corner cubes block the thingy-majigs. Oh no, I need 4 on this. Did I just get a static shock or was that just metal? Might have just been metal. Felt like static, which I really shouldn't be getting. Or like a voltage difference. If you guys heard a buzz on the mic, that's been known to happen around here, is where I'll ground myself on the 48 volt system for the microphone to some other object in here, and you guys get a nice little hum while I get a nice little shock of electricity. One of these. 2 more. 1 more. If I can find it. I guess I don't. I gotta find it. Hold on. Back into the bin. Back into the bin. Get 1 more each. All right. Let's chat today. Chat's quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Quiet Thursday. Everybody ready for Friday? Get one of these rolling like that. Now I can put the top bar in, and then we can get these brackets into position. And that'll hold up the whole front end insofar as I've designed it. And I was hoping we could do more with Fusion 360 today, but it doesn't seem like it's necessary. Oh, is everybody back to school, huh? Well, we already had our homework question asked today. Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's getting ready to go back. Okay, top bar, good. Let's get the brackets in. Now, the Maker Beam kits sometimes come with this thing, which is just like a little socket. But it helps make these things go on a little faster. Now I'm gonna need 8. 8 of the nuts. Get those out. Yeah, if anything, the Maker Beam requires a lot of hardware. It's fun to work with because you can configure and reconfigure stuff very quickly, and it's strong. It'll hold up your project without any hassle. Oh, don't go in there. No. No, god damn it. No. Okay, all right, fine. You know, God, it just fell into the thing. So did that. All right, you piece of crap. I don't have to take this from you anymore. Hunt slowdown? What is that? Oh, Hunt Showdown. I was like, what? What's that? Okay, so, oh, you bastard! You utter. I'm losing all the hardware that I'm finding. I guess I'll just tilt the case in order to get it off. God damn it! It's really frustrating. Look, I got 3 out of the like 7 that I've just gotten. Get everything out of the case. Tilt it forward. Tilt it to the side. No, too far. A little bit over. There we go. Look at all this hardware. Try to get all this stuff up. It's not magnetic. It's not magnetic. God damn it. I can't win today. I can't win today, chat. I'm having one of those days. Okay, so now we can actually get brackets on. PvE or PvP? Oh, I see. Shooter. Yeah, my friends have been doing Vermintide, and they've been after me about it, even today. Which it's like, I thought they had jobs, but I guess they can play Vermintide in the middle of the day. I can't. I got shit to do. I gotta do this. I gotta build this thing. Things to do, people to see. All right, so here's the tough part with Maker Beam is I have to get this bracket onto all 4 of these pieces at once, and 2 of them are being fairly annoying, what with gravity being what it is. So I gotta somehow get 2 of the bolts into the holes here without looking at it, because it's on the other side of what I'm looking at. There we go. Gotta get the other 2 aligned and on. There's one of the brackets, sort of. Now I need to get bolts onto it. So this is the part where things get a little weird. Once I get 2 of them on there, at least it'll stick in place, right? That's what I mean with this whole order of operations thing. It's all screwed up in this build. This build is all over the place in terms of what goes where when. Like if I have to replace a part, it might be completely impossible to do. Just because that order of operations is all over the place. And there are certain parts that are like blocked by others, so. All right, so let's tighten these things up. The only problem with these brackets is that they may interfere with the lid. Yeah, I might have to alter the lid in order to get these to work properly. At least that reservoir is now really solidly mounted on there. What are my other... I have a bunch of other ones of these things. Is that enough of them? But I can't find them now. God damn it. All right. Let's get two of the bolts onto this thing. So I gotta lift the screws up. I have to align everything. I have to get 2 of these in. And the top 2, it's fairly finicky working with this stuff in certain scenarios. Everybody left to go watch Tomato, right? There we go. Whew, almost there. I'm almost there with at least this facet of the whole thing, and we can plug the hard drive in, take a look at some of that stuff. I don't think the tubes are really gonna lay out nicely at the moment, which may mean I need to disassemble this whole thing again, but baby steps. We're taking baby steps here. I thought I had a stash of the nuts somewhere, but I guess I just used them all. Yeah, weird. Thought I had more of them. Well, there's a ton in the bottom of the bin, obviously. I only need 2 more. He isn't streaming today. Oh, okay. Everybody went to go watch Rabaz. Considering if I should raid him today. I think I probably should. Is he doing more New Vegas? Damn it. I should do New Vegas. The problem with New Vegas is that I'll fall asleep playing it. Again, I would get out into the wastelands and be wandering somewhere, and that Bethesda overworld... Everybody went to watch Djibouti. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Djibouti was doing safety videos the other day, and I really wanted to watch that. Were they doing safety, or it was like corporate training videos or something? They should do safety videos. They'll probably get to that eventually. Let's be fair. There's still plenty of opportunities for them to do whatever. Everybody's been playing the Aliens game too. I don't really have a group for that. Guess I kind of do. All right, so those brackets are now holding this thing in there. That has nowhere to go. Good. I'm gonna open up the hard drive caddy, even though it's a little bit counterintuitive. Opening up vertically like that is a little strange, but it does mean that I can put hard drive in here, and then once it fills up, I'll be able to swap it without having to do computer surgery. And lucky for me, this hard drive caddy also comes with a little power button. Although this is a what is it? It's not a button, it's a switch. So I may need to find a switch that I can toss in there instead, which I have. It's just a little mechanical thing. I'll be able to do that pretty easily. So with all that stuff mounted, and of course we don't have this bar here. This bar is providing a little bit of extra, just a little bit of extra stability to this whole thing. I'll have to come up with a bracket for that right there, just to hold this on so that the back of the case and the front of the case are held up together. Alien dance? What are you talking about? What you talking about? The top of the case, what did I do with it? It is somewhere around here. What did I do with the top of the case? Where could it be? What have I done? Huh, I don't know where the top of the case is. I would have put it probably with the other panels. No, not with those panels though. Panels. Under there with the panels? No. Over there with the panels? No. Over here? No, not over there. I don't know what I did with the top of this case. It's around here somewhere. What can I do with it? Where would I have put it? Up against its side, leaning against something. under the computer case. No, I definitely put it like aside so that it wouldn't get in the way. Let's see, over there. Back in that corner, no. In that bin, no. It's probably, oh yeah, it's right here. It is right here. Okay, that's where it is. It was right by the rack mount case. Hey, I gotta put panels somewhere in the shop. This is the audacity of this thing right here. That little vent. There's the one problem with the case is that the little rack mount things, they sort of have this overhang right there. Arash, the viewer. I finally got on Twitch early enough to catch the stream. Hey man, cool. What Alien game? There's the Alien Strike Force Team something. It's like a 3-player co-op game. Yeah, the paint's chipping on that end. So you gotta kind of like force that thing in. And then, yep, the brackets get in the way up front. Only a little bit, but they still get in the way. Let's see. Yeah, I might need to cut down the brackets a little bit if I'm gonna do that. Because that is bulging. I could do a cutout in the front of this, but I don't want to I don't really want to alter this too much. Yeah, it's the new hotness. Everybody's messing with it right now. It really does just look like a bunch of parts that I just kind of threw into an enclosure, huh? Yeah, it really does resemble that. This thing is uneven. That's too far down. I could move up a little bit. That's like the main thing you see on the side here is this giant fucking hard drive. I could push this to the right as far as it'll go. I think that might be the better call, is if I push the reservoir as far to the right as it goes, and then you'll be able to see in the computer from like over here. Yeah, I think that's the play here. I think that's the power play here, because I need to get tubes out of this side and tubes out of here. So if this goes as far to the right as it can, then I think we'll be in good shape. So I'll work on that. I mean, it's such a weird build. It's not really going to look like a computer from the outside, is it? This is all you're going to see. Very strange. Like, this is what I'm looking at right now, and this is it. This is what it's going to look like. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. I like it. I think it'll be good. All right. Yeah, I got a good idea of where this is going. I don't think there's much else that I can do today other than fiddle, which I'm sure is not the most exciting thing in the world to watch. I do thank you guys for hanging out with me during this, because I've wanted to get a little bit of progress into this build. There's a big gap right there. I don't know if I like that. I'll think about like skinning this. Like putting something up in front of all this, I think would probably be a good idea. Something that comes up flush with this and then flush with that. Music stream. I'm not that musically talented. I did vocal stuff in high school. I was a choir boy. I'm good at singing, but I'm not good at playing. Played piano a little bit, but man, everybody on Twitch is so fucking talented. Like, Louis is like super talented and putting together beats and shit. I'm shocked. Everybody's super talented. I don't get it. I'm underperforming. Alrighty. Well, we made a little bit of progress on this. I can't say it's not completely cursed, but it should start coming together and resembling a real computer at some point, right? So there's a little bit of work still to be done. It isn't going to be the most presentable computer, is it? Because everything's kind of crammed behind this rack enclosure. I wanted to make the front end of the computer look cool. You know, it might have just been fine for me to take that front face from the original Silverstone case and just use that and then bolt this thing to it. But hindsight being 2020, I mean, come on. But I'll work with this a little bit more. I'll get it into better shape. Hopefully very soon I'll be able to actually put this thing into service. I need to shave those brackets down too so that the top piece fits on. Yeah, still more to do. Still more to do. The work goes on. Alrighty. Well, anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me during this whole thing because, you know, it was a little bit of a work stream, but I always find it interesting to kind of noodle around with computer designs and see what we can come up with. In terms of like 3D printing it, I don't know what I'm going to be able to put together because I guess I'll probably need to put together like the front of the computer in order to figure it out because we've got some objects that are sort of more or less in the way. Now, I know that that radiator is on GrabCAD. At the very least, the radiator is on GrabCAD. Noctua fans you can find on GrabCAD. I don't know if the EK Reservoir is. I'm pretty sure that it is. And then from there, I don't know what I do about the hard drive mount. That thing's not going to be on GrabCAD unless I find something really similar to it. I don't think I'll be able to, though. But if I can, that means that I'll be able to do some measurements, put it all into CAD, and then make that front face the way that I want it to be. Or I just won't do that. Or I just won't do that. Or I'll just fuck off and put everything together in the front of the computer, staple it together, throw it into the rack, and we'll never talk about it again. Maybe it'll just look like a big pile of parts that I put up in the corner of the shop. That's probably what we're going to end up doing, to be fair. Maybe I'll put a piece of grating over it or something like that. I don't know. The other computer had all the fancy stuff done to it to make it look cool, but this one I just want to get together. I want to have that cool like reservoir up front with water in it, moving around, and then set the LEDs to look cool, and that's it. Yeah, function first is it. That's not where this came from, but it is one of the things that we need to consider as I get carried away with the design. There's no place for unicorn stickers. It's the problem. There's no flat surface on the front of this thing. Unless I put it on top of the reservoir. That's just heresy. I'm not going to do that with unicorn stickers. So it sounds like not a ton of people are around. Let's see what's going on my page here. No, we don't double the audio. Special events? Oh, was there a thing? Was there more game announcement stuff today? Oh, the VR expect you to die. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, I'm just gonna close down. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Yeah, Brett's doing, I was looking at that. What is he do? He's doing stuff. All right, listen, that's an interesting camera lens mount. That's the microscope that we use when soldering tiny stuff. I got work to do, you got work to do. Plenty of people are streaming. You guys can figure out where to go from here. I am going to just put boards over the window, and then I'm gonna turn off the lights and I'm gonna hide under the table until everybody leaves. And I will see you guys tomorrow when we'll be taking stuff apart, whether or not it's stuff that I want to take apart or not. Push comes to shove. Well, I don't want to subject you guys to more keyboard stuff. Keyboard's been acting up. I need to like warm up the keys. I need to hit like comma key like 500 times in order for it to actually like start to work again. I could pull them apart and work on them again tomorrow, but I don't think I want to subject you guys to more of that stuff. But we do have stuff to take apart tomorrow. We'll take a look at some of the stuff that like Groovy sent in. Yeah, we'll figure something out. It might be a little bit more noodling about than with today. Today we at least had one thing to work on. But until then, I'll see you guys, and I'm gonna go hide. I'm crawling under the table now. I'm crawling under the table, and I'm gonna turn off the lights. And I'll see you guys later. All right. All right, now go away, because I'm not here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I'm not here.